Hello, everybody, and welcome to some brand new Gloomhaven. Today we'll be starting our base Gloomhaven campaign, playing with the starting characters from Jaws of the Lion. This will allow us to experience and show off the beauty that is the Jaws of the Lion characters, and starting characters, whatever, it's the same thing. There's not any other Jaws of the Lion characters, to the best of my knowledge. Oh, well, there is one more, but obviously another starting one, one that we're not using. And yeah, we'll be playing through the base campaign. First of all, because Jaws the Lion campaign was not exactly, had a lot of very special scenarios, and here we'll kind of get to better show off the Gloomhaven class. The Jaws the Lion classes in more standard setting. On top of that, obviously, this is even more spoiler free because the Jaws the Lion campaign is obviously like more tighter and sort of story packed. So this way we can avoid. Like I would say that the Jaws the Lion campaign is a bit more spoilery than the early Gloomhaven campaign is certainly. Yeah, so just going to, well, I'm sorry to person in chat, I do not speak Russian, or I cannot read Cyrillic, so, sorry. Okay, so, things to explain first of all. So we're going to be playing base Gloomhaven, we're going to start on scenario 1, we're going to start on +2 difficulty, which I think are pretty normal difficulties to start with. +1 would be a little bit low, although maybe reasonable. +1 would be recommended for solo. I think if you're playing in a party not not solo, then starting on +1 is quite reasonable. Here, obviously, therefore, starting solo, we start on +2 because of the solo difficulty bump, which means it will be level 3 traps and monsters, but it'll actually be scenario level 2. We've been able to fix that with some settings in TTS, or in the fantasy setup. The only other things worth mentioning are that we will be, well, so first of all, we already did our road and city event. We always try to do these off camera, although we'll do, if we have enough time today to play 2 scenarios, which I'm really hoping we do, we'll do, obviously, those while streaming, but just not on camera. I'll switch the camera over to my splash screen to hide the information, just because there's no, oops, oh my god. Wow, that was my modem, or router, actually, no, modem, yeah. Hopefully I didn't break my internet. Looks like we're still good. Okay. Yeah, so like it's important for the progress of the campaign to do road and city events, especially city events, because this is a large portion of how we get prosperity, or a significant portion of how we get prosperity. But there's no reason to spoil city or road events for people watching, because this way, if you get that same city or road event, you don't already know the choice. You can watch without needing to be spoiled by that. So we just always do those off camera. So we've actually already done our road event for today, even though technically we're supposed to do our city stuff first. It's not going to affect anything though. If it had affected it, I would have just delayed the effect of it, but remember what it was. In this case, our road event did nothing, and our city event gave us 20 collective gold. We took that 20 collective gold and we put it onto the red guard. So we've got 30 gold on the Hatchet and Voidwarden to start, and 50 gold on the red guard. All right. So the first thing we're going to do then is we're going to buy some items. So this is the second thing we have to explain. So for items, we've made a few modifications here. No house rules this time. We will maintain our traditional house rules. Well, actually, no. Let me put this differently. What we're going to do is we're going to play everything using Jaws of the Lion rules, not base Gloomhaven rules, because I think it's even fair just to call Jaws of the Lion rules updated rules rather than Jaws of the Lion rules specifically. They're just the best version of Gloomhaven rules going forward. So we'll be using Jaws of the Lion rules for things like jump, for things like line of sight, and then obviously also for push, I guess, push and pull. What this means, I guess I should explain all these things. So Jaws line rules for line of sight are that you only have, in order to determine line of sight, you only have to draw a line from anywhere on your hex to anywhere on the target hex without touching a wall, not from a corner. Push and pull is that you don't have to do the entire push or pull. Obviously, we're using Jaws line characters, so it makes sense that these abilities are balanced around this anyway, so not a big issue there. And then jump is simply that the last hex of movement for jump, when evaluating with difficult terrain, is still counted as flying. So basically, you can use a move 4 jump, move 4 hexes, and land in difficult terrain. Vest until Frosthaven, yeah. And so otherwise, the other thing we've done is we've just ported over some of the Jaws of the Lion items to replace the items which they updated from base Gloomhaven, the items which needed small fixes. So we'll go over those quickly. So here we have the weathered boots, which are the replacements for boots of striding. Technically, Jaws of the Lion actually did have boots of striding at 30 gold. I'm not actually sure if we should have brought those instead of this. To be honest, I think this is probably a little. I think Boots of Striding at 30 gold are probably better than this at 15 gold, so I took the worst version, I guess. I could have taken the 30 gold Boots of Striding. These are more meant to be the replacement for Boots of Striding and Jaws of the Lion, though. These are like the starting boots, because Boots of Striding you get later. Here, you get these, you start off with them, they're 15 gold, right? And they just give one movement. So this is sort of like the replacement starter boots. So that's why we're using these. They only give one movement, they cost 15 gold instead. This is much more balanced. Boots of Striding were way too good. Every party wanted 4 pairs of Boots of Striding. The wing shoes got buffed, which also appropriate because they were definitely a bit too weak. So now they just cost 15 gold instead of 20 gold. So studded leather, this is interesting because this is actually an item in base Gloomhaven, right? And obviously I'm giving very slight spoilers here, but these are pretty insignificant spoilers. So this is actually an update to an item which is already in base Gloomhaven, the studded leather. It's actually just less expensive, but in Jaws of the Lion, this actually replaces the regular leather armor, which would normally be 20 gold and only give disadvantage. So I figured this was just the easiest thing to do. It's just I just removed the higher level studded leather. The higher prosperity studded leather, and I just brought the Jaws studded leather, which costs 5 gold less, in to replace the regular leather armor, which was just terrible. That being said, unfortunately, cloaks of invisibility are still here, so this doesn't have. I mean, this isn't going to be that useful because these still exist. Obviously, these shouldn't exist; these are way too good. But whatever. I'm still just updating this just to show what like sort of the real version of updated Gloomhaven items would be for for a greater level of balance. Gloomhaven Digital has a different version of updating leather armor, which I think is also reasonable. Just the base leather armor having 2 charges rather than 1, which I think is also a perfectly reasonable change. Either one of those would be a good way to approach leather armor going forward. But obviously, it's easier for me just to port um, the Jaws of the Lion item over rather than to have to like modify with decals my base leather armor from Gloomhaven and then try to explain how it works. We have the Jaws of the Lion Iron Helmet, which costs 20 gold instead of 10. Even at 20 gold, we're still going to buy this. Playing Gloomhaven Digital, missing out on this. This is one of the things I miss most frequently. It feels terrible not to have that. And then lastly, we have the Jaws of the Lion, or just again, the updated going forward version of stamina potions, which is 1 return card instead of 2, which is what we'll work with for now. All right. So all that being said, let's try to get in the habit. It's this of using our yeah, our camera zones, our saved cameras. So we've got 3 characters to outfit. I mean, I don't have one for the items because that's not really somewhere that I should be going often. So it wasn't super useful to do that. All right, so we're obviously buying both pairs of these. We have to get one of these on the Hatchet. The reason for this is, well, all right, so actually, I'll show our. So this is our party sheet here. So you can see we have our 3 characters' name. Hakata is our Voidwarden, Themris is our Redguard, and George is our Hatchet. This is my cat. This is Themris. Everyone knows who Themris is by now. And George is just a ridiculous name for Hatchet. And our party title is Do We Have Enough Movement? The reason for this is that Jaws of the Lion characters do not have as much average movement, as much movement on average, I would say by a significant margin, less than base Gloomhaven characters. And the reason for this was simple, that in Jaws of the Lion, the scenarios were on average significantly smaller than they are in Gloomhaven. Gloomhaven has large scenarios and very movement demanding scenarios. So not having lower movement and not having boots of striding, which is something that I guess theoretically Gloomhaven was balanced around, is going I think one of the biggest challenges for our party is actually going to be our limited movement. Accordingly, it would be insane to imagine ever not buying these. Again, even like when we do testing and stuff like that, I mean, be it Frosthaven, I mean, well, I guess not necessarily Frosthaven because we don't have these items, but when we're doing like custom class testing with Emrys or whatever, we're always buying these anyway. Like these at 15 gold, boots of striding are still great. 15 gold, 1 movement, they're still great. So obviously we're always buying both of these. The real question is which characters get them. So the character with the most movement of our 3 is definitely the Redguard. So it kind of makes sense to put these on the other 2. It's also just mandatory to put. I mean, the Redguard's also melee, and theoretically melee characters typically get priority on things like boots of striding because they actually need movement more since they have more requirements about where they need to go to hit people. But first of all, the Redguard is just mandatory to have these boots because of this. The Retrieval bottom, which is move 1, loot 1, it really just needs 1 additional movement a lot of the time to be effective. And this is really important with our key mechanic. I'll go over the mechanics of the classes in a bit. I'm just going to buy all the items, and we'll go over the stuff that the classes do when we get into the scenario. And so the other one's just going to go on the Voidwarden, who also kind of has limited movement. I mean, we do have a move 4 to start, but other than that, we just have a couple move 3s. Okay, so that's 15 gold for each of them. Sadly, these imported sheets don't have the right click to go down 15, so we'll always have to left click our way across, but that's okay. And I'll actually just subtract the other 10 gold now while I'm down here, because let's be honest, we know what both of these characters are buying when they have 15 gold left. Doesn't matter if they're nerfed. Here we go. And this is just, I mean, realistically, with Boots of Striding nerfed, Iron Helmet nerfed, and I mean even with Stamina Potions nerfed, the best two Prosperity 1 items by far now are still Stamina Potions and Invis Cloaks. So we'll be buying a lot of these things. But here we go. We'll grab our 2 Stamina Potions. Put one there. Put one there. All right. So that leaves us with 5 gold on both of them. We can't buy anything with 5 gold. So we got 50 gold on the red guard. We gained 20 collective gold, actually, and we just put it all in the red guard. Voidwarden is actually the one who needs items the least. There's just not many items, especially at low prosperity, that are going to be very useful for the Voidwarden. And Hatchet is like medium needing items, but there's also just not a lot of good prosperity 1 items for Hatchet. Like after this, what else do we want for Hatchet? Like theoretically we can buy Eagle Eye Goggles. We will, because Eagle Eye Goggles are fine. There is another head item we'd be happy to have on Hatchet, but it's not for a while that we should have access to that, so this will just serve decently in the interim. And obviously we can get a Cloak Invisibility or Studded Leather, but neither of these things are like that important. These will probably be the best next thing. And then after that, eventually we can get a Power Potion when we get to 3 or something, if we haven't got to Prosperity 2, or a Healing Potion. Regardless, there's just not anything that's great. Similarly, like Piercing Bow, probably no. Well, it depends how quickly we get to Prosperity 2, whether we'll buy this or not. But the point is, there's just not really good ranged items for if you're not like an AOE, like a Spellweaver, for example, has a lot of reasonable options here. Power Potion, Eagle Eye Goggles, Invis Cloak, and then Stamina Potion, obviously. But someone like a single target range damage dealer doesn't have great options at all at level 1, or at Prosperity 1 in Gloomhaven. So there's just not a lot of reason to put the gold on the on Hatchet. Whereas Redguard, tanky characters in Gloomhaven are typically the ones that need gold the most, because there's a lot of good tanky items to buy. As is the case here. So here with 50 gold, we can very easily do our purchases. We're going to buy an Iron Helmet, a Heater Shield, and Minor Healing Potion. So, this is one other small modification we're going to make. This is actually General CGO who recommended the way we should do this, because Isaac has even said if you play the Red Guard in base Gloomhaven, obviously the one thing the Red Guard's lacking to be played in base Gloomhaven is the Ignore Negative Item Effects perk. Which would typically exist on a base Gloomhaven tanky class, which we just don't have. It also sucks that we can't ignore negative scenario effects on any of our characters. That's typically something you would be able to do, but well, we'll just have to deal with it. So accordingly, what we're actually going to do is we're going to treat both of these perks as remove 2 -1s each time. So remove 2 -1s, bless you, remove 2 -1s, remove 2 -1s. And then this perk here, which says remove 2 -1s, is actually going to be add 2 +1s and ignore negative item effects. So the reason why this makes sense is because this actually allows us to have the exact same outcome we have here, which is adding 2 +1s total to our deck, removing 4 -1s in the same number of perks, while also integrating the ignore negative item effects perks. Plus, it just leaves all of them with reasonable perks. Obviously, there are perks in Gloomhaven where you ignore negative item effects and add 2 +1s, and then it's obviously fine to have 2 perks that remove 2 -1s. So we'll try to get the negative item perk, this one, negative item effect perk as soon as we can and buy some armor. But until we can, it's certainly, I don't think, better to wear hide armor and have 2 -1s in our deck rather than just buy all these items, which are all still good. Again, a testament to just how good the Iron Helmet is that we're buying it right away at 20 gold even. So here we go, and here we go. On a tanky character, I generally do like a healing potion. I mean, I guess it depends on the tanky character, but Redguard doesn't have any obscene level 1 action to recur. Like, we have some good actions, things like Desert Knight. I mean, depending on the circumstances, obviously Shield of Desert can be okay, although not really recurring that because it requires elements. Yeah, I don't know. There's not really anything at level 1 that really stands out that much. I mean, mostly just Desert Knight, and that's just because we're playing with the Voidwarden. So there's not so much to be gained with a Stamina Potion. I mean, I would still obviously take a Stamina Potion. If I had one more small item slot, I would probably maybe not buy the Iron Helmet, buy a Stamina Potion instead. I don't know, or maybe not buy the Heater Shield. Tough to say. Regardless, I think for a tanky character, a first item of Healing Potion is a lot of the times reasonable, unless there's one card that's really very good that you just want to get back to be able to play on back-to-back turns without short resting. So yeah, Healing Potion first, Iron Helmet, and Heater Shield. Uses our 50 gold very efficiently, and these are all items we'll want to get eventually. I think, while I will pick up the Wing Shoes on the Red Guard probably, so the Red Guard has only 1 non-loss jump action. I mean, to be clear, trap scenarios are going to be tough for us in general because the Voidwarden has no jump. If you look across, yeah, we do have some force movement though, and Hatchet has. I mean, I'm saying no non-loss jump, I should be clear. Here we also have no non-loss jump except on the bottom of this card, the favorite, but unfortunately we're never going to have access to this bottom because we're going to play this top basically every scenario. So trap walls are going to be more difficult for us with these characters than they typically are in base Gloomhaven. This would be an argument like for getting the jump boots on these two, but we're not going to do that. We'll basically just buy the jump boots on the red guard to allow the red guard to more easily move around in combat. But again, the jump boots, well, they're fine now at 15 gold, and with, I mean, all right, to be clear, if I could buy one more pair of weathered boots on the red guard, I would buy that over the jump boots 100% of the time. But I can't, so I will eventually buy the jump boots, because there's just nothing else boot-wise that we really care about that much, even at Prosperity 2. All right, so 50 gold spent, we're all itemed up, we've already done our city events, we've already done our road events, so we get to go to the scenario now. So let's go ahead and set up scenario 1. And then we can go through our cards and choose what we're going to bring for the scenario. We have all of our level 1 and X cards, obviously. Don't think there's anything I forget. Ooh, I'll even remember to draw battle goals. All right, so we're gonna need battle setup anyway, and then we're gonna do game setup. So we're doing revealed rooms, which is not really revealed rooms. It's just rules as written. It drives me crazy that hidden rooms is the default, but whatever. So scenario number 1, yep, and it should auto do the level because we set up the monster. I mean, we set our difficulty level there. So these monsters, I'm just gonna double check. Ooh, we can get in the habit. So this would go here. So level 3 monsters, perfect. Okay, so let's take a look. So the elite guard, I mean, I guess we just fought these last night with Emrys playing custom class testing on this scenario. So the elite guards, which are the guards in the first room, have 3 movement each, 3 and 4 attack respectively, and 9 and 10 health. The elites have 2 shield. All right, should be tough. So we can start any of these 7 hexes here. And oh, there's no elite guards? Oh yeah, because we're only doing a 3-player party here. That's true. Okay. So 6 guards, but all regulars. All right. So what we need to do is we need to go ahead and draw battle goals. We're not going to grab personal quests. Our goal for this campaign is just going to be play these characters to level 9. After we play them a little bit at level 9, we'll just retire them. We can maybe swap it to something else, like playing a Diviner, because I would like to play with the Diviner 2.0, although I'm scared. All right, so anyway, battle goals. Let's just rotate this. Normally it auto deals them, but since we're playing 3 characters solo, this doesn't work very well. All right, so it'll just be like character 1, character 2, character 3, going down like that. Obviously Voidwarden on top, then Redguard, then Hatchet. Okay, so here we have never allow your hit point value to drop below half your maximum hit point value, or kill 1 or more elite monsters during the scenario. So this is pretty annoying. The killing monsters thing is so annoying for the Voidwarden because we just don't make many attacks. Very few of the Voidwarden's attacks are actually her attacks, so we can pretty much just never do this. Accordingly, we're going to have to try to stay at 3, at 4 or higher the entire scenario. Not so guaranteed either, but the other one is essentially just impossible. It's so very, very difficult to ever get kills with the Voidwarden, especially on an elite. There's no elites in the first rooms, so there's no guarantee. Loot a treasure overlay tile during the scenario, or loot 5 or more money tokens during the scenario. Alright, both of these are definitely doable. There's 1 treasure in the last room. We're probably the most likely to be able to go grab it, actually, because our other 2 characters are ranged. So yeah, let's go ahead and grab this. Okay, that's fine. Don't mind that. It's also amazing that we remember battle goals. Use no items during the scenario, or have 1 or more monsters present on the map at the beginning of every round during the scenario. How costly will it be to not use these 2 items? Reasonably costly. Now these 2 checkmark ones are rough. Got a 2 checkmark and a 2 checkmark, so there's no easy thing to fall back on here. I mean, I'm never doing this. This is just too hard. There will almost certainly be off turns. So we'll try to do this, and I mean, the thing is, I think playing on +2 difficulty, it's just not very realistic to expect to be able to do something that's rather difficult. That being said, when we only have 2 items this early in a campaign, this is certainly easier than it will be later, so if we can get away with getting the 2 check marks here, I'd be happy about it. All right, let's move these up a bit. Okay, so now it's time to, so we can take a look at this scenario. So, and I guess our cards accordingly. These things have 3 movement. So our goal is always going to be to hide in the corner. Hide in the corner. All right, let's go over our cards and take a look at what we want. So I will kind of, since this is the first time playing the scenario, or playing this campaign, I'm going to go over all the cards individually so that I can explain, I mean, basically so that every card has been addressed once, and then from then on, I'm not going to say what the cards do when I play them. All right, so here we have Lure of the Void, which is disarm range 3. We can force the target to perform move 1. If we consume dark, we gain 1 experience, and we get +2 movement. And the bottom is 1 ally within range is a loss, which 1 ally within range 3 may perform an attack 5, or 7 if we consume dark, and they suffer 2 damage. And mean, I won't mention the experience each time. All right, anyway, so Lure of the Void is definitely good. Really bad initiative, obviously, but a ranged disarm that can do force movement as well is quite reasonable. Especially, like, again, this will help us potentially to deal with our trap walls that we can't jump past. It's also just a disarm, which is always good. Very reasonable action for an 11 card class. So here we have a top melee loss attack, unfortunately. We don't really ever want to go into melee, so it's difficult to ever use this, which is Poison, Wound, Curse, Stun, Attack 2, a bunch of elements, or both of our relevant elements. The good thing is, on bottom, this is a move 3 or move 5 if we consume Dark, and with 36 initiative. Again, we do sort of need movement, and we really need good initiatives. This is not a good initiative, but for us, this is okay. So there's some temptation here. This is Master Influence. This is our core persistent loss. Each class here has a sort of core persistent loss, although all right, Hatchets is completely essential. Ours is mostly essential. Red Guards is, it more depends on what items we'll have in the scenario we'll be in, so we'll see. So the first attack performed in each of your attack granting actions, and as you've noticed, we've already had one attack granting action here, gains advantage, and you may consume any element to add +1 attack to it. In addition, when you grant monsters attacks, they use your attack modifier deck. This is because we're going to put some curses in their deck. 83 initiative, which is a fine late initiative. That being said, late initiative is not hard for us, so we're never really excited about good late initiatives. We just want good early initiatives. And we've got a bottom, Bless range 2, Poison range 2, Create Ice, which is just also a good bottom as payment if we somehow don't use this top. Suggestion is force one enemy within range 4 to perform move 3 with you controlling the action and attack 3 targeting an enemy of your choice adjacent to them. And then if we consume ice, they become stunned. We'll never use this top without that. Without the ice, I would say. That being said, well, or unless there's some amazing traps to be really desperate, this is a move 3 with 23 initiative and the upside of consuming a dark to curse, which will sometimes happen. And also just a move 3 with 23 initiative on this class is very good. All right, so here we have our best granted attack. We'll be using this on the Hatchet quite frequently because the Hatchet's at range and going to be nearby us, which is Poison, range 3, create dark. One adjacent ally may perform attack 3, range 4, targeting the target of the poison. If they do, this ally suffers 2 damage. Obviously, this does do some allied damage, but it represents, with Master Influence, an attack 5 with advantage plus poison, which is great. And then on bottom, it's a heal 2, range 3, 89 initiative, which again is a good late initiative, but that's not something we get excited for. Signs of the Void. This is going to be an essential card at least until level 2 because this is our best initiative. One ally within range 3 may perform shield 1. The same ally may perform move 2. So we're typically going to give this to the red guard and be like, get in there, shield up, and also this just allows us to go early. Realistically, this is also a move 2 on bottom with 15 initiative, which comes up a lot because all of our bottoms are, like, our best initiatives are always going to be, at least until level 2, bottom actions, like move 3 here or move 2, whichever it may be, move 3 here. We don't have any bottoms that are going to have good initiatives. We don't have any tops that have good initiatives, and we don't have any bottoms that aren't movement that have good initiative. So basically, a lot of times you just need to use this bottom for 15 initiative, or theoretically sort of throw away this top to use a good bottom with good initiative. The bottom is a loss, which is the next 5 turns. Perform curse range 2. So this can be 5 curses. We're almost realistically never using this for a loss, though. Giving up the initiative is costly, and it's a fine loss, but it's not very exciting. All right, so here we have heal 2, range 2, target 2, and allies who remove poison with this heal gain bless. So this is one less range than the Crackheart's heal, but with the possibility of blessing if you remove poison. So this is a good heal at level 1 for sure. And the bottom, really bad initiative. Force all enemies within range 3 to perform move 1 if you controlling action. Not a very useful bottom. Just too situational, especially again because of our bad initiatives. Although it depends with traps and stuff like that. Here we have a heal 5, range 3, poison, create dark. This is one of our more consistent ways at level 1 to create dark, so this isn't bad. It's also large heal. Obviously the poison is a cost, but we do have a way of removing poison with Close to the Abyss, so this can be a good way to heal people up. We scale out of this pretty quickly as healing abilities often get scaled out of, but it's definitely a fine action at level 1. Bottom is move 2, one ally within range 3 may perform move 2, which is just nice. Nothing to complain about here. It's a total of 4 movement dispersed over 2 characters. Here, Resign Frenzy. Force all enemies within range 3 to perform attack 2, targeting enemies of your choice adjacent to them. This is good on like swarming enemy scenarios or enemies with retaliate scenarios, stuff like that. It's certainly not going to be good on this scenario. But the good thing is this is a move 4 with 26 initiative, which can also, we can consume 1 dark to get 1 less movement and get +2 attack to make it a move 3 attack 2, which is good as well. The good thing is no matter what version of this we use, it's always going to be good for us. It's rare that we want to go into melee to make melee attacks, like I've said before, but it still can come up, so this is fine. But regardless, just a move 4 with 26 initiative is just, we just constantly need this. Okay, so here we get into a pretty bad card. This is Curse, range 3, target 3. We consume Dark to get +1 range, +1 Curse, or +1 target, whatever. a loss for 4 curses is theoretically fine. I would say, like, curses in Jaws of the Lion, and certainly in Frosthaven, based off of publicly available knowledge. I mean, Themris already talked about this, and then in Jaws as well, curses have been scaled down a bit. It shouldn't be as easy to give curses in Jaws of the Lion and going forward as it was in base Gloomhaven. So obviously something like the cursed losses here are worse, but that also does make them a little bit less appealing because while curses have been made worse, other things haven't, and some of the things are even better. All right. So anyway, this loss is, I mean, it is theoretically fine, but it's rare that we want it. We have plenty of good losses. This is not the loss we're looking to play. And the bottom is without ice. So with ice, it's a move through. Without ice, it's just all adjacent allies suffer 1 damage, and then bless target all adjacent allies, which is theoretically fine on the very first turn of a scenario. If we like start next to our 2 allies, just do a bottom action to give 2 blesses, but we're typically gonna have better things to do even in those circumstances. So this is just a super easy cut. Sap Warmth is a card that seems like it should be good, but it just doesn't work very often. So poison range 3, and the next 3 times an ally attacks an enemy with poison, that ally may perform a heal 1 self action. This is a really cool effect. I really like it and I want it to work, but it doesn't work that well that often. That being said, it does have some application on like things that can heal where the poison is very good. Still, I mean, like best case scenario, best case it is poison and then heal 3, disperse over 3 1 heals, which is obviously very good if that happens. It's just pretty rare that happens. I would say more often this ends up being poison, like heal 1 or heal 2, in which case it's kind of underwhelming, especially because you just have so many very reasonably tuned actions that you can't really afford to do this often. Bottom is a move to heal 3 target self and all allies within range 2, which is just a healing loss. There's not really a lot else to say about that. It's a healing loss. So yeah, I mean, loss healing cards are traditionally in Gloomhaven not great. This is obviously better than what the Tinker had access to in terms of loss heals, but that still doesn't make it good. So kind of difficult to use, not super effective, not super consistent top, paired with a pretty mediocre bottom loss. Also situational, just makes, again, this a pretty easy cut. And actually, we can just go ahead and actually cut cards, just make it easier for us going forward. All right, so here we've got attack 2, range 3, consume dark, so at this point we have dark generation there, dark generation here. So we've got 2, and then we're also going to have it here. So we've got 3 ways to generate dark. So we have dark a fair amount of the time. So this is often just going to be attack 3, range 3, curse, which is great, actually. Especially considering that curses, again, have been tuned down. And then this is force 1 enemy within range 3 to perform attack 3, range 3, targeting the enemy of your choice. The acting enemy suffers damage equal to the damage suffered by the target, which is actually really nice because we can basically turn this into an attack 4 with advantage with Master Influence and essentially do an attack 4 on something and then 4 direct damage to something else. This is very good against enemies that have shield, making them perform this attack and then suffer direct damage. So this card is fine. Wicked Scratch is essentially a core action. So this is 1 ally within range 2, may perform attack 3. This is just our basic way of giving an attack. Creates dark and we gain 1 experience. And then the bottom is a loot 1, which also strengthens range 3, which is just nice. I mean, we can theoretically strengthen ourselves, but that's not very useful because we don't make any attacks. Don't make many attacks, I should say. Regardless, just a good card overall. Good top, good bottom. And then here we have an attack 3 poison, which obviously is fine. Again, we don't really want to get into melee. And if we consume ice, we get +1 attack and muddle, which does make it a very powerful top attack for level 1. But again, with the cost of going to melee, which we don't really want to do. The bottom is going to be stun, range 3, and curse self. And if we consume dark, we ignore the curse. At level 1, we don't make many attacks ourselves, so cursing ourselves isn't that bad. You can theoretically build this class in a way where cursing yourself is good, so your allies can't get cursed, and then just not ever draw your modifiers. But we're typically not going to do that as we level up. That being said, whether we curse ourselves or not, this bottom is great. All right, so we have 2 easy cuts, and we'll have to make 1 slightly harder cut because the rest of these cards are all at least fine. So what is the card we're most likely to want to cut here? Oh yeah, it's Grasp of Doom. Yep, actually it's a pretty easy cut in the end. So again, Grasp of Doom is a fine loss and a fine bottom move, but we've already got some better bottom moves than that in Resign Frenzy and Suggestion. And we're basically just bringing those 2 cards for now for the bottom moves. So we have like better bottom move, better bottom initiative with those 2 cards. We just don't need a third version of that much. Although, as I said, we do sort of lack movement. So on larger scenarios, we can still consider bringing something like that. Okay. Next up is Redguard. Whew. Wow, it's going to take a while until we even get to the scenario. But I think this is valuable. It makes sure that everyone is familiar with the cards before we get into this campaign. Since there's going to be VODs and everything of this, I think it's important to start from a reasonable basis. Obviously, people are welcome to skip past this if they already know all the cards and don't really care what I think. So Desert Knight is great when we're playing in a party with Voidwarden. Desert Knight is already fine, right? So this is attack 2, target 1 enemy within 2x's, disarm, 90 initiative. I mean, the 90 initiative sucks on this sort of effect. You'd rather your CC effects be early rather than late, but I mean, it still gives us a guaranteed late initiative. And we've got tons of early initiatives, so it's not too costly to have this one be late. Creates both elements that the Voidwarden wants. Voidwarden doesn't always need elements, but sometimes does, and this will be nice when they do. And then it's a bottom loss, move 6 jump, which is just a classic. Bottom loss. Anyway, overall very good card, especially in a party with Voidwarden. This card's much more situational. So this is just an attack 3 to begin with. If we consume red. If we consume red for red guard. If we consume red, it's 2 hexes, so this would turn into like the Brute Sleeping Cleave. And if we consume light, we get +1 attack and push 1. So this, with both elements, is amazing. With one element, it can be fine. I mean, attack 4, push 1 is fine, and the 2 target hex is good. So it kind of depends which element. That being said, elements at level 1 aren't the easiest for us, and we have some other uses for it. That being said, it's still 10 initiative, so this card's fine. Bottom is a loss for shield 3, also very reasonable as a bottom action. Nothing to complain about on this bottom. Very situational. I mean, it's situational because it's a loss. It's actually very powerful no matter what. The biggest problem is that the top is not spammable. It does require setup, and the bottom is situational, which makes this an okay card. The truth is, this would be a fine card for plenty of classes in Gloomhaven, but the red guard has a lot of good cards. So the top here, we have 14 initiative, continuing our trend of very good initiatives. 14 initiative, attack 3, immobilize, already fine. If we consume light, we get 1 shield, nice. And then on the bottom, it's a move 3, create light, great. With 14 initiative, it's not to love. Again, light and fire are our elements, so that the light is useful. The top of Flame Shroud is the next 5 times an enemy enters a hex adjacent to you, that enemy suffers 2 damage. Yeah, this is... I mean, it is 10 direct damage for a loss, so it's theoretically fine, but as we're going to be playing on much higher level difficulties compared to our party level, 2 direct damage is not going to go very far. So this is basically okay on things like Flame Demons. That's about it. Even Wind Demons will already have outscaled us, maybe Living Spirits. The problem with Flame Demons is we'll still have to make an attack to pull them into range. They're not just going to walk into range typically. So, and if we make an attack to pull them into range, we're going to take retaliate damage. Sorry, nose itching. So realistically, this isn't going to be a very good loss. That being said, still a very good card because it's a move 4/6 initiative, which, again, Frosthaven classes are Jaws Lion classes are a bit more limited on movement, and this is also just great initiative. The consuming fire for 1 shield will come up occasionally. This could basically doesn't really have a top for us. Jaws of the Lion designs this scenario specifically so this has a top, but yeah, also something I didn't love. But this bottom, therefore, card is great. All right, so here we have late initiative, attack 3, range 2, immobilize, create light. Again, we've already seen why light can be good for us with this and this. Obviously, this gives us easy light creation, but this is also a card that wants light, so it's more difficult. Other sources of light are nice. And this is a very reasonable way to generate light at level 1 with an attack 3, range 2, immobilize. And on bottom, all adjacent enemies suffer 1 damage, loot 1. Cool. Good top, reasonable bottom, nothing not to like. So here we've got attack 2, target all adjacent enemies, and we consume light at attack 3 instead, which is quite powerful, although again has scaled kind of poorly on the fact that we're going to be level 1 already against level 3 enemies. You can't really do this often against level 3 enemies, right? Because you're just going to take too much damage. Now, it depends what enemies you're against. This will get better in scenarios against things like, not hounds, actually, because they're retaliate, like vipers, roaming scouts, basically those things, although those are also some of the easier enemies in the game, so whether it's actually important to have cards that are good against them doesn't matter too much. To be clear, though, playing on a normal difficulty, like +0 difficulty, this would be very good already on this scenario. And the bottom, fortunately, is just already decent. This is an attack 2 on bottom, which if we consume fire can be an attack 2 wound, which is great. Pretty mediocre initiative. I mean, 38 initiative for the Voidwarden actually feels quite decent. For us, with our good initiatives, not so much. So here's our core persistent loss, which is actually quite good in Gloomhaven, although not always going to be great, which is each time after an adjacent enemy attacks you, that enemy suffers damage equal to your shield value. So this just reads gain retaliate equal to your shield value. There's no retaliate in Jaws of the Lion, that's why it's worded this way. To experience persistent loss, on bottom we have a heal 2, range 2, create fire. Excellent. So even when we're not going to want to use this top, the bottom is still going to be very good for us. All right, speaking of more fire generation, we have the exact same bottom that we had on Blinding Sickle here, Flaming Sickle, and once again, just, I guess, worse initiative. The top being the same thing sort of as here, except instead of giving Immobilize, it gives Pull 1, which is obviously a lot worse. Did you have a good, nice rest after that 10+ hour stream from yesterday? On a stream or diet, no less? Yeah, actually, I did not get to sleep as long as I would have liked to. I actually am a bit tired today, but I'm going to do my best. The problem is, after after a long stream like that, so I finish it at midnight or whatever, but then I have to have dinner, and then after you eat, I can't go to sleep right away. So in the end, I still got to sleep rather late, and then woke up rather early this morning. So it'll probably be another coffee today. So anyway, Flaming Sickle is fine. It's still an attack 3 range 2 that creates fire. The pull is obviously less good than the mobilize, but fire is typically a little bit better for us than light, especially as we level up. All right, and even at level 1, right? Yeah, because for example, the bottom consumer here is better than the bottom consumer here, and the fire here is better than light. The light there is good though, so I mean there is some use for it, but and this I guess is a loss. Still, fire is a little bit better than for us than light. Here we have attack 2, range 2, target 2, pull 1. Again, the pull isn't really significant, it's just a thematic thing. I mean, it's theoretically supposed to work with this, but again, we're not going to use this on level 3 enemies. And 16 initiative, move 2, jump, shield 1, which is just great. Like, this is an amazing bottom. The top is fine. Again, not great against level 3 enemies, but fine. The bottom is amazing with this initiative, so this is a great card. All right, here we have another good card. So this is a little bit of self-healing for when we need it in between rooms, which is exactly how you like it. And in rooms is a move 3 that gives us a reasonable effect in combat. All enemies gaining disadvantage in all their attacks this round. So yeah, overall very good card. Here we have shield 1, immobilize target all adjacent enemies, great light, and the bottom is attack 2, consume light for attack 3 muddle. This is 13 initiative as opposed to this one, which has 38 initiatives. That does make, obviously, this bottom easier to use because it's less risky to be able to do it earlier. It's also a little bit, I mean, light is less valuable to us, which makes this sort of better. This top is very good if we're using shield spikes. If we're not using shield spikes, it's not very appealing. But with shield spikes, obviously, it's quite good. Again, shielding and shield spiking against level 3 enemies isn't going to be very productive, at least until we get some better items to support this. But obviously, it can eventually get very good. It scales very well. Anyway, this is a fine card. It's not exciting. We've had a lot of good cards, though. So here we have a loss, attack 4, add +3 attack if the target has a negative condition. So on a boss fight, bottoms say -1 attack, though. You talking about this? Wait, what bottom you say -1 attack? Sorry. This is a. Oh, you thought it was a minus there? No, yeah. I see, because it's like a little bit darker there. No worries. Okay, so here, this is an attack 7 as a loss. With advantage if we consume fire. Just pixels. I can't see because of resolution. Sorry. There are, I assume? I guess I can check myself if there is. Yeah. So we can't change the resolution. I guess, yeah, 1080 is the max. Sorry. So obviously a reasonable loss on boss fights, not very good. Otherwise, the bottom is a move 2, pull 2, rage 3. So this at least does give us a way, for example, if we have a sort of solution for Flame Demons. If we want to play the top of Flame Shroud, we can use this bottom as a way to pull things into Flame Shroud without triggering Retaliate because we don't attack. This is still just a fine bottom action. It's not very exciting and the initiative's not very good. We've got a lot of good bottom actions, so we're not really compelled to take this card, but there's nothing wrong with it. Meanwhile, here we've got attack 1, range 3, +1 attack and pull 2. If we consume fire, then move 2, then attack 1, range 3, +1 attack and pull 2 if we consume light. So this is obviously quite good. It's already 2 attack 1s. It could be up to 2 attack 2s. It's not regularly going to be 2 attack 2s, but often this is like attack 2, attack 1, and a move 2 on top, which is all quite good. The pulls also can be relevant when there are traps. Nothing bad about this. That being said, we also have a lot of good ways to consume elements and not a lot of great ways to create elements thus far, so this card's okay. So this is always getting cut. This is like always our first cut. This will be very good in the second room, right? Because I'm not going to pretend that I've done these campaigns enough times that, I'll hide this out of sight, so I'm not actually looking at it, although I wouldn't look at it anyway. But there are some scenarios I won't remember by heart. I have to have done this scenario 20 times in my life at this point, maybe more, probably more. So I certainly know that there's going to be archers here and there's traps here. So being able to like run up and pull these archers into this trap would actually be very good. It's not going to be any good in the first room though. Enemies basically like making attack 1, attack 2 with a top action and having to use an element to do it is not very compelling again against level 3 monsters. Against level 1 monsters, this is already fine. So this is just another issue like brought on by difficulty scaling, why this action is just not very, very great. So let's see, what else do we have that we could potentially cut? I guess we just want all of these cards, right? Like every one of these cards is good, except for maybe this. So here are the things that can potentially go on the chopping block. This. I like both of these. So that's basically it. Yeah, those are the things we can potentially cut. So we're gonna cut 2 of these cards, right? It definitely makes sense that we always cut one of these 2 anyway, because both of these really are like very element hungry, and we're not gonna have a million elements to begin with. I don't think we're gonna go for a shield spikes build in this scenario, but the bottom is still compelling. All right, so we need to look at how many elements we're creating. Like I said, I could do shield spikes here. That's tough. I love doing shield spikes. It will be good. Yeah, it will be good in this scenario. I mean, it'll be fine in the first room. I guess the question is, how much shield can we consistently create in the first room for ourselves in a turn? Like 2? Yeah, that's basically it. We can do a bottom shield and a top shield with this and this once. Otherwise, yeah, that's mostly it. And that would create light for us, which would then let us do a top shield with this, but then no more bottom shield because we would have had to create fire, which we couldn't do. Shield spikes will be... Thing is, shield spikes is going to be good against the enemies that are easiest to kill in this scenario. Like, it'll be good here. It'll be okay at the guards for the second room, but not the archers, which is the hard part. And it'll be good against the skeletons in the third room, but not the archers, which again are the hard part. So I'm not sure how great it is. It's tough because it is good. I mean, we're never keeping both of these. We're always cutting one of these, maybe cutting both of these. So the question, yeah, basically is, do we keep this and cut both of these, or do we keep one of these? So let's assume we're not doing shield spikes. Then how many elements will we have? So we have bottom fire here. We'll create 1 element here, 1 element here, and maybe 1 element here. The advantage this has is this is good in the first room, and then maybe in the second. Do we have other? I guess we have other force movement for the archers anyway. We don't need the force movement in this party. Let's set that aside and that aside, and we'll take this. Okay. 1 class to go. Whew. All right. Well, before we read any of the other cards for this class, we obviously just have to read the favorite first because the entire class revolves around it. So this persistent losses chord will almost always have to be played on turn 1. So this is place 1 of your character tokens on this card. You may add +3 attack to any of your ranged attacks by moving the token from this card to the target after the attack ability is resolved. When the target dies, place the token on that hex in which it died. If you loot that hex, return the token to this card. And that's also why this bottom move 1 loot is so important. The reason why is it'll actually allow us to pick up the axe and throw it again. So basically, if the text didn't necessarily mean anything to you, the best way to explain this card is you have this axe that you really like, and is really effective as it turns out. And when you want to, you can throw it at someone when you're attacking them. And if you throw it, you get extra damage on that attack. Except the thing is, then the axe stays stuck in them, because axes, I mean, you're not Thor, they don't magically return to you. So the axe is stuck in the target. So now you have to go get the axe back, which means either kill the target and loot the axe from the target's dead body, or potentially, like we have the top of Retrieval, which is a lot less relevant, where we actually rip the axe out of the person. All right, so this has a bottom. The bottom isn't very relevant, at least not for now, just because we have to play this. Our entire class essentially revolves around this. It's very, very important that we play this. Obviously, it's also just very good. The bottom is wound, target 1 adjacent enemy, move 3, jump. It's a good bottom with 17 initiative, but it just doesn't matter because we have to play the top. All right, so what else do we have here? So we have attack 2, range 3, heal 2, target 1 ally adjacent to the target of the attack. This is just great. This is a lot of value for a single attack. And then we have move 3, heal 1, range 1, Great Earth, also very nice. Just a very free heal that can remove poison and wound. Or, I mean, again, it's just a move 3. We don't really have better than move 3s anyway, so move 3 is about as big as we get, and this has a bonus on top of it, which is great. The Earth, obviously not relevant in this party, except for the any element on Master Influence. All right, next up we have Extra Lift, which is attack 2, range 3, and if we consume wind, we're going to do +1 attack, +2 range. At level 1, we're going to have 1 free way of generating wind, so we're going to have 1 wind consumption card, which we'll get to shortly. 21 initiative. Bottom is a loss, move 4, create wind. On your next 4 move abilities, add +2 move. Which again, this could be useful for a scenario where we have to run a lot, because like I said, we don't have a ton of movement. So this is like scenario situationally useful, which is good to have around. Let's just put this together because these two essentially go together. Here we have Fancy Hat, bottom move 2 for 12 initiative, which is nice because we don't have great initiatives. Top loss, which is, I think, as General CGO who said they've seen this loss used exactly once and it was good, and that's about accurate, right? This is a loss you're almost never using on this class, especially in a party with a red guard. But who knows? Maybe, just maybe, there will be a situation where this is useful. Not very likely, especially against higher level monsters. Just not the type of thing our character wants, but whatever. That's fine because it's a move 2 with 12 initiative, and the bottom is +1 to all your attacks this round, which specifically works well with Disorienting Barrage, which is attack 1, range 3, target 3 muddle. So this plus this gives us attack 2, range 3, target 3 muddle, which is very good. And then the bottom is a loss, which is move 2, all adjacent enemies suffer 1 damage, move 1, all adjacent enemies suffer 2 damage, move 1, which is a decent loss for dealing with like flame demons, basically. This is a flame demon killer. All right, then we have Retrieval, which is just a completely core card because of this bottom, move 1, loot 1. Again, this is significant because let's say we kill something with the favorite. If we want to use the favorite again that turn and we end on the hex, it doesn't work, right? We'll loot at the end of the turn, but we won't get to use the favorite there. Whereas if we use this move loot, we can then pick up the favorite and then immediately throw it at something else. Again, the top is much less useful. This is mostly just a bottom. You'll maybe see this top used once or twice ever, at most. All right, here we have a top loss, attack 6, range 3. Not very compelling, especially since we have to play a persistent loss. There's some reason that this can be good, which is this bottom here, which doubles the attack value of our attack. So theoretically, I guess I'll just kind of skip ahead here. This plus the favorite is an attack 9, double, this is an 18 with a crit, a 36. Losses die. All right. The bottom is a move 3, create win, which is nice because, like I said, at level 1 at least we're going to want to use 1 win spender. So this is just a pretty free way to create wins since we're happy with move 3s on this class, even if it has bad initiative. Okay, so here we have attack 3, range 3. Great for us because of the favorite and everything. 24 initiative, move 3, push 2, target 1 adjacent enemy. Great. Both halves of this card are good. It seems like I'm a little bit too excited for a standard attack 3, range 3, but again, this is our best way of just like, it's our best default attack to just apply the favorite. So this is actually an attack 6, right? All right, so here we have follow through, which is attack 2, range 4, and add +2 attack and gain 1 experience if the target has your favorite token. So first we do this, so we go attack 6 into attack 4. Seems decent. And then here on bottom we have move 2, push 2, target 1 adjacent enemy, and then another move 2 if we consume wind. So with wind we can't have a move 4 here. We can do like move 3 into move 4, non-loss with wind. Speaking of with wind, here we have attack 3, range 2. We consume wind to give +1 range and push 2. So basically there's like 2 different ones. So this one starts as an attack 3, range 2. This one starts as an attack 2, range 3. This with wind becomes attack 3, range 4. This with wind becomes attack 3, range 3, push 2. So I actually prefer stopping power to extra lift. I know that other people prefer it the other way around. I mean, the initiative isn't insignificant because 21 is definitely better than 35. And we don't have amazing initiatives overall. But more than anything, I just prefer this because if I don't have wind, it's still an attack 3. It requires a little bit of extra effort of moving into range to attack, but often our bottom actions are just moves anyway, so it's not a big deal. And with wind, having the flexibility, like I would rather have an attack 3, range 3, push 2 than an attack 3, range 4, to be honest. Often this is going to be better than the other thing. The bottom is a loss, so I don't read the text. Move 3, jump, immobilize, target all enemies adjacent to any hex you enter during a movement. It's fine. Not really getting used much. So this is a double loss. This is sort of the type of double loss I can get behind because it is 2 very powerful losses. Well, actually not really. The top mostly sucks. The top is a loss for 6 on 2 targets. It's like weaker than the Spellweaver, right? Now obviously we have the favorite, but that's still another loss. So yeah, this top's not good. But the bottom, however, is very good. This is obviously great on boss fights, basically. We can bring this for boss fights and just plan on using this very early on, and in that case it'll be fine. Because then, like I said, we can do a really, really big attack, which definitely makes this certainly worth breaking up boss fights. Okay, so here we have Leaping Cleave from the Brute. Attack 3, 2 target, and melee. That being said, we're not a melee character, so this is a lot worse. This is still fine if you're playing against difficulty 0, +0 monsters, because the upside of this and being able to kill some things in melee is worth going into melee. Against +2 monsters, this gets a lot worse. Same reason with the bottom. For the bottom to be good, we already have to be adjacent to something. So we can only do this if we start our turn next to things, which we typically don't want to do. We also don't really have fast enough initiatives. Like this going 25, there's still definitely a lot of worlds in which we get messed up before we run away. So again, fine on regular difficulties, not fine on challenging difficulties. So here we have a heal 6 self loss, sure, sometimes necessary. 18 initiative, move 3 on bottom, and add +2 movement, gain 1 experience if you killed an enemy this round. This is nice because it's a move 3 with 18 initiative, which again, we want move 3s, and 18 initiative is actually good for us. All right, so the cards we cut are the double loss because this is not a boss fight, the other win consumer because we already have 1 win spender, and then close cuts. Which, like, to be clear, if this was the red guard, we would keep close cuts. But because we're not a red guard, we don't keep it. Context matters. Yep, everything else here makes sense. This combo makes sense. Yep. All right, so we've cut all our cards. We've gone through all the cards and we've done all our cuts. Just so for compatibility, Redguard has an extra perk to choose from Gloomhaven, ignore item effects, and others have ignore scenario effects. Oh, so yeah, so for compatibility, General CGO already suggested. I mean, we talked about this at the beginning, actually, Marcel. But hello, Marcel. Oh, did I? I meant to. I think I responded to you. Ah, crap, I didn't. So sorry to everyone. I swore I even thought out in my head. I mean, in reality, I took a look at what you showed me. I think it's definitely interesting. Like, I mean, I'm not very good at evaluating that sort of thing. To me, nothing really stood out one way or another. Like, if this was in the game, I wouldn't have batted an eye, which I guess is kind of the best compliment I can make. The only one thing that scared me a bit, I will say, was on the first of the two. I'm trying to be cryptic here because I definitely don't want to spoil this. Like, this is a very spoiler friendly stream. So, um, on the first of the two, the 72 initiative is very scary to parties that can't interact with the specific thing there. I know that the other instance of these have one as well, have with all right, with Earth. There's also a very, very scary thing, but I actually think that the Earth one and that other one is a mistake. To be perfectly honest, I really don't like that very much because I think it's just too punishing again. It's too random and punishing. And so this one to me seems extremely punishing to party, like, because there's just not much you can do about this if your party doesn't have a way of interacting with that element, basically. Um, Especially at higher levels because of the immunities, which I actually think the immunities are great too. Like I'm a big fan of that. So in general, I really like this overall. That was the only thing that really stood out to me. Which initiative again? The 72 initiative, the number 6. Sorry, on the first of the two things, the the sixth instance, the 72 initiative card. Specifically, the fact that the difference between it is so enormous based off of wind, which is not something like a party that can like because of the late initiative, parties that can interact with wind are going to find this to be very interesting. But parties that can't interact with wind in any way are going to find this extremely punishing. Is kind of my only concern. That was the only thing that really jumped out at me. Otherwise, everything else seemed reasonable. And again, like I said, I mean everything. Like these seem like things that I would expect in the game. I wouldn't have batted an eye, and I like the immunities. That was the only thing. I guess what I would rather have it be is have so basically how to explain my suggestion for that. Sorry to everyone, this will be a really quick aside. But basically how I would rather this function, that specific ability, is have it balanced around like instead of -1, have it be like -2 attack, and always have the wind consumption rider are always there, and then have like the wind be like plus attack or something, so that at least that way like have it be like -2 attack normally and like +1 attack on wind or something. I don't know. I mean, just a way that the base version of it, like people have to play around the base version, but the base version is a bit more reasonable, and then the wind consumption version doesn't have such extreme variance between what it normally does and what it does with wind. Have it like a more reasonable scaling between the element consumption and not, so that again, it's not too big of a difference one way or the other. I mean, because obviously you still want it to be a difference. It's just you don't want it to feel like yeah, this is perfectly fine versus, oh my god, I mean, someone's dead. We lost John. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I don't even mind the idea of the plus target. Like I said, I think just reducing the base attack more. Or, I mean, you could also have the wind consumption be adding a target to it, for example, which could be interesting. Like, it's an interesting way to play with that sort of thing. And again, just have the base attack on that sort of thing lower. Anyway, yeah. So Marcel, to explain, I did talk about this at the beginning, but General CGO has already recommended how we can insert the thing just normally for compatibility, which is basically we're acting as if both of these are remove 2 -1s, and then this is add 2 +1s and ignore negative item effects. This way we end up with the exact same perk deck, except just with the negative item effects integrated, and all these end up being normal perks. And for the others, having the possibility to ignore negative scenario effects with an extra perk is something that I will integrate. Thank you very much for the recommendation. Okay. All right, let's get into the thing. So we've got our cards, we've got the scenario set up, we've got our battle goals. I think for once we've not forgotten anything, which is a bit of a miracle, right? Okay, so let us try to remember. So it's shift 2. We're really going to try to do our best. All right, we can even zoom this in a bit more, right? Control 2. There we go. To actually use the cameras. So, we start in any of these 7 slots here. That's fair. I mean, I think just doing it this way is fine. That way we don't have 16 perks. General CGL's recommendation made a lot of sense to me. Yeah, so these have 9 health, 3 movement, 3 attack. So with 3 movement, we're looking at 1, 2, 3. So this is sort of the death line here. So these 4 hexes in this corner are typically where we want to be because under normal circumstances, these shouldn't be able to reach us. Even if they do ranged attacks, they can still only reach to here. The only way... Personal goals? Hey, Game Straight. No reason to do personal goals here. We don't have any intention of retiring these characters, and we'll just retire them at some point after we get level 9. The purpose of this campaign is to play them to level 9, and once I've played them for a bit at level 9, then I'll swap them out for a party that involves, like, Diviner and then probably 2 other base characters. Yeah, I'll figure... I mean, that's true. I'll figure that out. It's not urgent for now, regardless. Okay, yeah. So, ranged attacks and running into a corner, characters... I mean... Hatchet doesn't even want to do anything. We just want to set up favorite on the first turn, so we can actually just be the one to start here. I guess I can just press the start thing. I know where these hexes are. It's these 3 hexes we're going to start in. All right, so let's try to do this. Boom! Look at this technology. Maybe move this up even a little bit more. Zoom in just a tiny bit more. Okay, so we almost always want to set the favorite on the first turn as Hatchet. The only exception to that would be if we're in a room with a bunch of weak enemies in close proximity already, and then we can do a fancy hat disorienting barrage. But here, it's super easy to set up the favorite, and that means that we can just start here. The reason being that the characters who start here and here can actually do something other than move, whereas we don't actually have anything to do on bottom other than move if we're just setting up the favorite anyway. Still no demo in the party? Nope. Still just doing 3 players, which is the most reasonable thing for me to do, realistically. All right, so we're just moving. The only thing we need to do is we need to move before 30, which is when the guards can attack us. It's probably still just going to mean playing this. This card is just a movement. Oh no, we already have good initiative, so we can actually create wind and then potentially do like our wind attack next turn. There's no reason not to. These 2 cards should always be played together, and we're just keeping all of our other good attacks / our favorite looting ability. So let's take this. Ooh, can we do this properly? No, that's... No, damn it. Oh, it's 3. It's 3. Okay, boom. Trying to get used to using the camera settings. Okay, so we're good there on Hatchet. That's a pretty obvious turn. 17 gets us away always before the guards can go. So what are we doing on Red Guard? So our plan is not to set up shield spikes. We don't actually have high enough range, do we? No, our highest range is range 2. So in that case, what we're going to want to do is go late. So going late, I guess we could do go late with this. Because creating light, ooh, if we create light and fire, ooh, then we can do this. Ooh, it's rare that we actually get to do this, but here we actually can pretty freely, right? So 87 initiative and us starting in one of these hexes, which I guess is here. Yeah, no problem. Like I said, I mean, it overall looked good to me. And I know you're saying optional because I know you don't know how about what someone else's reaction might be to the immunities thing, but immunities, yes. I know we feel the same way about immunities. I guess the only argument against immunities would be that the other things don't have immunities, but it's not like retroactively they couldn't be added. Gloomhaven would have been better with some immunities. Okay, yeah, so we want to create fire as well then, since we're creating light, presumably with that attack. The only annoying thing here is if the guards don't move, the others should have immunities. I agree completely. Agree 100%. So which one of these? I mean, both of these could be good. Basically, we're going to play one of these bottoms here without moving. Oops, that's this one. That angle's maybe not great. Maybe we want to be more like this. All right, let's try like that. This is control. Oh, man. All right, yeah, this is 2. Yeah, more like this. So here we should theoretically still get hit by a couple things, right? I guess Hatchet will move to there. Oh, well, I gotta stop talking about that stuff now. I gotta focus on this because this is recorded, so it's not just a casual stream, and I want people who watch this to. But yeah, I understand. So the real question on the red guard is whether we do the bottom heal or do the bottom AoE. No, it's okay. It's okay. I know you're well intentioned here. Probably better to the bottom heal. I don't know how many enemies I'm going to have adjacent. What's annoying is the most annoying thing here will be if they don't move, right? Because if they don't move, I mean, it's good for me if they don't move, but it's also a little bit bad because we would then be forced to move with a bottom action. We'll create. I guess that is an argument for doing this then. Oops, this. So here's the thing. If we do this, so basically we're always doing this bottom or this bottom, because if they move, then we can always play one of these without moving, play the other top, get both the elements, and get to do the dream next turn. Black Burrow, yep. If they don't move, if we play this, at least we can use our other card to move and then this to attack with, which is nice because then we'll create fire, which is more important for this. That being said, there's a reason not to do this, which is that if they don't move, moving and immobilizing them, I think, is better than moving and pulling them. Because if we move and immobilize them, then one of them is going to do nothing for next turn. So we could just do that or do this. Because then ultimately, if we end up just creating light, we can still use the top of Twirling Stabs afterwards. So I think that's fine. So let's go with this and this. Again, going late initiative because we're going to wait for them to move up so that we can do our two actions. Okay. So that just leaves us with Voidwarden. So Voidwarden, I guess we should just set up Master Influence as soon as possible, as is typically a good idea. Oh no, man, I'm getting bad at these cameras. Oh well. I don't know how important it is for the camera things. It just feels so unnatural. I guess I'll get used to it over time. The keys to press it is unnatural. The fact that it's Control and Shift, I understand because like pressing one draws. I maybe should just change my hotkeys. I also feel like I can't zoom in on the cards the way I want to because I'm trying to like rigidly stick to my set cameras. I don't know if this is good. So we set up that, and then we presumably, I guess we don't have to move. We start here. Yeah. This is more natural to control a camera like this. If we start here, we don't have to move, so we can do some sort of a bottom action after they come up, like stunning one of them. What happens if they don't move then? Well, if they don't move, like I said, we got a pretty free round of setting up some persistent losses, which is not the worst thing in the world. I'm just a little bit afraid, for example, if I use this as my best bottom, if they don't move, then it is quite wasted. Otherwise, we could just try to do a heal. No, but then we're giving up our best attack. Let's just play this and presume that they'll move. And again, if they don't, it's not the end of the world because we get a pretty good round. All right, I think we're set. Let's shuffle all the things that need to be shuffled. It's supposed to auto-shuffle, but who knows. Let's start the first round of our new campaign. Bandit guards don't move. All right, that's annoying. It's the shield, so it's not retaliate. I mean, it's annoying and it's not annoying, right? It's good and it's bad. It's good and it's bad. Okay, so bandit guards go. They have one extra shield. They attack no one. So as the red guard, we're just going to activate the favorite, so we gain 2 experience. Where is our character tokens? Here we go. Oh, just go right through the card. Why don't you? There we go. And then we're going to do a move 3 where we create wind. All right. So in this case, I think we're going to go to here. Or are we? Because I'm considering whether I want to do... It's just so much more natural to move the camera like this. I'm considering whether we want to do Fancy Hat, Disorienting Barrage next turn. We have the wind, though. But the wind can also just be used by the Voidwarden. It doesn't have to be us that uses the wind. We use the wind, we're just doing... It actually doesn't even do anything here. It just adds push. So I guess we're always just going to move back anyway, unless we do these 2 things. And if we do these 2 things, we want to be in range anyway. So yeah, I think just moving up to there. Let's try to... I thought I said a better angle. Just moving up to there. Just moving up to there makes sense. Yep, so we'll go there. Damn it. This is not making it easier. And we're done. Hatchet's done. Now the Voidwarden goes. We gain 2 experience and set up Master Influence. And then with this, we do nothing. So similarly, I think I'm just going to move to here. This way I'm at range 3 to theoretically stun some things next turn. This kind of puts us still in a protected space where I can still do good stuff. And I'm also going to then just go ahead and use my stamina potion right away. This first room is tough. So I actually am pretty happy to get this back. I also have 11 card hand size, so stamina using my stamina potion, since it only gives one card back, gives me an extra turn only if I do it when I have an odd hand size, and this just makes perfect sense. Because I'm getting a really good action back, which would otherwise sort of been wasted. I mean, it was still wasted, but at least we get it back. And I'm in position to use it, and I also get an extra turn by doing this anyway. Okay. So then red guard goes. Yeah. I mean, I could just use this opportunity to set up shield spikes, but I think that's a bit crazy. Immobilizing them is quite good unless they do the ranged attack. I guess I could go here, and then even if they do the ranged attack, this one being immobilized there is good, as long as we move next turn, which I suppose we should move next turn. Yeah, that makes sense as well, because then theoretically, if I go here and do this, next turn I can go here and do my AoE attack since I have the light set up. All right, so I'll use the bottom of shield spikes simply as a default move 2. I'll create light by doing an attack 3, range 2, immobilize, targeting guard number 5. All right, our first attack modifier draw of our new campaign. I'm sure this is going to go well. Also got to remember our battle goals, right? Never below half, loot the treasure, use no items. Okay, there we go. I knew it. I knew that our very first draw could not possibly be anything but a negative modifier. It wouldn't be one of my campaigns if that were the case. Okay, end of the round. So, what now? Well, and there's only 1 damage because he had 1 shield, by the way. I could do the light for shielding, but this really does seem good here. Especially because I think off to an auspicious start. Indeed. So it might just be too early to use the shield. The problem is, if we go at 32, there is the risk that they go at 30, which I guess is just too risky here. So we do need to go before that. And this is a 38, so that kind of means we need to use this. How good is creating light again? Not great, right? I don't really care about doing this without having fire with it. So if I'm going to use this bottom, I want to use it in the same turn I use Flaming Sickle top. So yeah, I guess that means we need to use this. I don't love using this here because I think there's only going to be like 1 enemy attacking, probably. Maybe 2. All right. Regardless, this does make sense. Red guard, or sorry, Hatchet, we definitely moved into the spot, and based off of immobilizing one and potentially stunning another, this is definitely the plan we want to go for here. I guess that's another reason why giving them a disadvantage doesn't matter. So what do we want to do? I guess we don't need to go early here, since we're already in a decent spot, and the red guard theoretically can tank up. So what we can actually do is we can do this and this, right? I guess we don't have dark, so we're going to curse ourselves. We don't make many attacks anyway. That's fine, right? Do we have a better bottom payoff here for not moving? No, this is the best one. So we can go ahead and do this and this. Basically our plan, I mean, all right, if we go before 58, we get to stun one of these, great. And if we don't, we get to stun one of them for the next round. It's not like they're all going to be dead before the next round anyway. And then we can also grant the red guard an attack, and we can do this using the win that the Voidwarden, or that the Hatchet created for us last round. So overall, this seems like a really good turn. All right. 58 or 50, so that's just nothing special. Yeah. So Hatchet's up first. And so to be clear here, I'm going to use these, but I don't actually press active. I just discard this. I remember that I have it. So we're going to add +1 to all our attacks this round. And then we're going to do attack 2, range 3, target 3, muddle. All right, so this isn't moving, so we don't need to kill that. So we can kill one of these and stun the other is basically the plan. I mean, the one we kill is going to be with the Voidwarden attack, so it doesn't matter too much. I guess it makes the most sense to stun or to kill the one in the corner. I don't really know that it changes much. This one actually is going to be able to reach the Hatchet, huh? So be it. Yeah, because I mean, we certainly should throw the favorite here, I think. So let's go ahead and do that. Where are you, favorite? So we'll throw the favorite at, I guess, yeah, the one in the corner. Sure. I guess no, because this spot here, this is actually going to be occupying sort of a spot that covers us, whereas this is going to be a spot that's harder to get to. So it makes more sense to stun this one. Or no, yeah, so it makes more sense to kill this one and stun this one. Yeah. All right, so we're going to we'll do here, here, here. So this one's going to be attack 5 because we throw the favorite. So attack 5, attack 2, attack 2. And all these have muddle. Okay, so here we go. I know I don't have to come down here, but I like to see them. Okay, 6, 2. Okay, fair enough. I guess one of us is lucky today. 6, 2, 3. Beautiful. Really beautiful flips. They're all muddled. Okay, and we're done. Red guard's up. So on the red guard, we're going to do the bottom here. A move to jump, shield oneself. Go to here. If I put this on him, will it work? It will, in a way. Sure, why not? I think this is fine. All right, sure. This one is favorited. All right, so we're going to consume light, gain 1 experience, and we get to perform an attack 3, target all adjacent enemies. So we'll do number 1 and then number 4. Getting a +0 on the top one is so important. Classic. Okay. Of course. I mean, whatever. We drew a crit, so this was still good. But instead of killing either of them, we left both of them with a little bit of life, which is just frustrating. Okay. Especially because we don't have easy ways to do AoE after this. Do we? Guess we can do... No, we don't even have our bottom attack left. Yeah. I guess this is... Yeah. I guess it'll be like this and this. The 1 direct damage at least kills one of them. Optimal damage distribution, exactly. It's precisely what we did there. Alright. Well, we're done. So the bandit guards go. I'll just move all of them first, and then I'll do the attack. So this is immobilized, can't move. These will stay where they are. There's no retaliate, so there's no reason that anything happens in between. Alright. So it's going to be an attack on the red guard with muddle, with disadvantage, then an attack on Hatchet, then an attack on the red guard with muddle. Alright, so red guard with muddle. Okay. So red guard takes 1 damage. Then attack on Hatchet, no muddle. Really? Really? Oh, I don't have an Iron Helm on everyone already. Wow, okay. Oh, God. And, like, if this had come on that red guard, this would be fine, right? Because we have the Iron Helmet here. It's actually that it had to be perfectly woven on the 1 attack that goes here because of initiative. Losing 2 cards in the first rest cycle is just going to doom us for the rest of the scenario. But can we take 6? Just have to take no more hits after this? Guess we just have to take no more hits after this. I don't think, like, if I hadn't already lost a card here, 100% of the time I'm just throwing away a card. But since I've already played a loss here, I go down to 7 cards on my next rest cycle if I lose a card to this, which I think is just too costly. How likely is I never get hit again here? I don't know how likely it is, but we're gonna try. Okay, and then the next disadvantage on the red guard again. Okay, so 1 more damage. Again, each of these was only 1 because we had 1 shield. Okay. So now the Voidwarden goes. Oh, disaster. All right. We're going to curse ourselves. Where? These are the player curses. Drives me crazy that they're all the way up there. And we're going to stun. Technically, we should attack first. I'm always doing this ability, so I guess I'll make my attack first, and then I'll decide where I put the stun. All right, so I'm going to give... this is actually tough. Because we've already gotten the crit here, but we've gotten a bunch of positive modifiers here. I think it's better to go here, then. I don't care so much about getting crits. I'd rather just try to get some positive modifiers. Like, just getting a +1 I'm happy with, right? So... This is an attack 4 with advantage. I really don't want to use this on this target. I'd rather use it here. It's annoying that this is going to be slightly difficult to kill. I don't know. Maybe with a loss next turn we can actually kill this. Or something like that. So let's gift the red guard and attack here. So we're going to use Master Influence to consume the wind. And make an attack 4 with advantage. With Wicked Scratch, we gain 1 experience. And we create Dark. Alright, here we go. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. Like I said, I'm a plus 1 I'm super happy with. So this is 5 damage, which is very respectable. And then who are we stunning? How likely is it that this dies is the real question. So what are we... I should take a look at what we're going to do next round on the Voidwarden. Is it time for Resigned Frenzy top? I mean, I think I'm supposed to do this next turn. Yeah, I really think I am. It would suck to lose this for the rest of the scenario, have almost no movement left, but with all these enemies with so low health, this just seems way too good. Yeah, I mean, this is essentially 12 attack here, and kills off some loyal health enemies. Yeah, it's got to be that. So, and we do that at 26. Oh, so stunning one is actually bad here, huh? Huh. Yeah, that actually works out poorly because that's just one that's not going to get to make an attack. So which one is the most important that doesn't? Which one doesn't matter that we don't doesn't make an attack? I mean, I guess I don't know then, because the problem is if we stun one of these, like if we stun this one, then we're playing around them going at 15 and doing a poison attack, which would be brutal. But if we're going to play around that anyway, then the red guard's just going to get messed up if we don't have the red guard kill these two before 15. So do we just not play around the 15 and just get destroyed by it? Or do we stun here and then we just don't do Resign Frenzy? Yeah, I know. It's definitely costly to play Resign Frenzy 2 here as well. But the problem is that we just... So Hatchet doesn't have any AoE left, right? Redguard has AoE. Yeah, we don't have fire, so Redguard doesn't even have this left. So we have the one direct damage on the bottom, which can kill the 1 health one, but not the 2 health one. So we basically just have to make both of our attacks just kill those two, which I guess is fine. So maybe it's just not Resign Frenzy here. If it's not Resign Frenzy, then what is our plan? And then I guess Hatchet like moves here, loots, picks up the favorite and throws it here, kills this. So let us just stun this one. And at this point I don't think I can play around the 15 poison. I have to eliminate incoming attackers. So realistically I can eliminate these 3 incoming attackers. And which, I mean, again, before 30 initiative. There's one card in their deck that's bad for us, essentially, by playing like this. I think, given that we're already in a pretty bad spot, I mean, which is what's supposed to happen in this first room, I think there's a limit to what we can play around. I think I'm not going to go for the Resign Frenzy, stunning one of them, but also it just wouldn't work well with what we're going to play around here. All right, so this plus this definitely makes sense here. It's a pretty easy line. The reason for this being that the 1 direct damage from the bottom of Flaming Sickle just outright kills this, and then our top attack can kill this, and that allows then the Hatchet to use boots to move here, pick up the favorite, and throw it, and presumably kill this one or this one. We'll see. Which we can also do before 30, which is the best we can do by doing this and this. This is definitely the attack that makes sense here. I mean, I guess this would work. Maybe we don't need quite so much attack here, and 30 versus 24 initiative is exactly the same. I would rather heal ourselves, but theoretically we will be able to heal the red guard with this. I guess if we attack here, because I'm planning on using the favorite here then, right? And if I use the favorite here, then this will still just be an attack 5. The reason why I'm going to use the favorite, so it's going to take 1 damage to be clear, so it'll go down to 3 life. So if I use Center Mass and I'm making attack 6 on something with 3 health, here by using the favorite on this, I'm making attack 5. I feel like that I have to use the favorite, because for example, even with this put at 3, I couldn't just use Center Mass and no favorite, which I would love to do, to be clear, because I'd love to keep the favorite. But the problem is, then if I draw a -1, it doesn't die, and we're in a really bad spot. So I basically have to kill this. And in that case, I might as well just get the opportunity to do a heal 2 on the red guard, or use the opportunity to do a heal 2 on the red guard, simply because with the favorite, even a -2 then still kills. And if I miss, it doesn't matter which attack I make, and this way I'm still getting the free heal. Okay, so here we have Dark. You can make a cursing attack on something, disarm and move something. Oh no. Cursing attack seems good. It's also just an attack 3. Initiative's not great, is the issue. But, I mean, story of our life on the Voidwarden, I think. This is probably a good opportunity to do that, and we can just do this. I don't want to do this bottom. I really want to do the bottom to heal the red guard or heal the hatchet, but at the same time, I really want to keep this because that's after that I just don't have any attacks left, right? If I play this bottom here as well as this top, after that I'm just CCing. But maybe that's fine, just like CCing and healing. But if we do this, we can actually have good initiative. I think good initiative actually matters a lot here. Yeah, let's just do this. This is a turn where initiative is very crucial. I think it's better than getting good bottom action value. And again, by not playing this bottom, we do keep the top for ourselves, which I also think I'm going to really want. Okay, so this works. Again, we're not playing around the 15, but we're playing around everything else. Okay. Whew. We would have had it at 49 anyway, but that's okay. So they have -1 movement. They're strengthening themselves. Sure. All right, so we should always just attack first. Sorry for the nose itching. Yeah, because always unknown information before known information. So we're going to just do an attack 3 with Shield of the Desert. We're going to attack this one. It's important we kill this one to allow the Hatchet to get the favorite back. So we're going to attack Bandit Guard number 1. Okay, that's fine. -1's actually perfect. I mean, actually, -2 would have actually been perfect. Okay, so favorites there. And then we're going to use the bottom of this. All adjacent enemies suffer 1 damage, loot 1, create fire. So we actually get this coin. We actually beat... Oh, wait, hold on. Which is the order here? Oh, actually, we get this coin, too. Wow, we're going to beat the red or the Hatchet for looting? Crazy. We actually could have gotten the 5 loot quest, huh? Okay. Or battle goal, not quest, but yeah. And we're done. Alright, Voidwarden's next. So we're going to... Yeah, it makes sense to let the red guard finish that one off. We're going to just attack the stunned one here. This is fine. We're going to consume the dark and gain 1 experience. We're going to do an attack 3, range 3 curse, targeting guard number 6. Jeez. Okay. Ow. And then we've got to move 3. So red guard's already tanking this hit, and I guess this hit. Yeah, if Hatchet goes there. No. I mean, I guess we're taking this hit from where we are. There's no real reason to move anywhere, I think, so we'll just stay where we are. I think we're at a pretty good spot. All right. Next up is Hatchet. So Hatchet, we're going to use... Oh, I guess we're failing our battle goal already. That sucks, because I really would have liked it, but... I guess if I had attacked here with the Voidwarden, maybe, but this also would have just killed there and not gotten the curse, and I don't know. Whatever. Failing the battle. I mean, this scenario, I do want to beat it. Playing on +2 from the first scenario is not easy for a new party, so yeah, it is what it is. Because our battle goal was to use no items during the scenario, so we fail this because we got to use this here. It's just so hard to never use boots in this class with Retrieval. Retrieval is just so important. So we go here, form a loot 1. There was no way Red Guard could move and do everything we wanted there. And then we're going to throw the favorite when we attack this one with the top of Care Package. So this is going to be an attack 5, targeting number 3 here. Hilarious. Hilarious. So we could have actually killed any of them here, but oh well. Alright, favorite goes there, and this heals the red guard for 2. Alright, so the bandits go. This one's stunned. The other 2 are going to get strengthened. -1 move, but that doesn't change anything here. So they both do get to attack. Red guard. Okay, so here come the attacks. Yep. Sorry. It's here. Oh, it's like numpad 3, right? Yep. Alright, +1. So they attack for 3. So take 3 damage. So 2 damage. Alright. It did not hurt. Man, this negative draw has been rough. We still got a lot of damage to deal to get out of this room, huh? So we have fire. So we actually can get some shield here. And I guess disarm one of them? Disarming one of them when we have shield doesn't make so much sense, but they're strengthened, so you don't need to draw one each. So I just did it in the different order. The card's still here. So they actually strengthen themselves after attacking. I did the strengthening just first, just as a shortcut to not forget. So no, I do not need to. But it's fair that if you weren't familiar with the card that you would think that. Was my bad. All right. So what can we do here? So we don't have the favorite. It's lying on the ground. So we get to do an attack 3, range 3. We should save this card then. Because we basically just want to go with 430 as often as we can. Which one of these am I more likely to want to use? This, actually, because I won't have the favorite in a target next turn. So this way I can go at, before 30 again next turn and do attack 3s both turns. I guess otherwise I could use this turn. Am I already in range? It's this I want to hit, so I have to move away from him anyway. It's actually rather annoying, isn't it? No, I just have to move to there and attack him. But I don't... Where's the red guard going to go? Yeah, also disarming them this turn with the red guard makes a lot of sense. I can just consume the fire for this because I've got nothing else to do with the fire anyway. I think this is reasonable. But while they're strengthened, it makes a lot of sense to disarm them. I know that we're overlapping disables, but I'm hoping that more will be dead in the future, so it'll be less necessary to disable them. So where is the favorite? Oh, he just auto-picked it up. So the favorite's not there. That's a bit annoying. All right. Let's go ahead and grab that. Let's go ahead and grab that. There we go. So the favorite is just on the hex he's on. Please don't. Damn you. I'm going to have to look into coding this properly in the future. All right. Whatever, the favorite is there. So that's annoying. So we actually can't pick that up anymore. Yeah, so we're just going to be doing attack 3 no matter what. Yeah. I guess what we can do then... Pushing is also relevant here, but I guess that makes sense. Just use this now, and we'll just have to use the stopping power top next turn. Because what I actually don't mind doing is like pushing this one away. That way, in the future, if they draw their suit 15 poison, he's not next to me. I mean, obviously, I can't play around that this turn, but I'm doing the best I can. And I mean, actually, I can because we'll get a disarm here, and then we'll run away before they go. So this actually will be fine if they do the 15 here. Actually, I'll be happy for them to do the 15 here, and then pushing this away for the future sets us up better for that. But I wanted to go before 30, but also push away here. So I actually have to play these two cards, which does mean I'm gonna have to move to range 2. Excuse me, next turn to do this, but I think that's fine. I guess we can push the one away that's on top of the favorite as well. This is also a possibility. And yeah, combining these two cards next turn makes about as much sense as anything. So what are we up to? So do I want to disarm another one of them again this turn? I feel like I kind of need to be dealing damage. I can't really make my ally suffer damage here, though, is the problem. So I don't really have a way to deal damage. I could stack shield for the red guard, but if I'm disarming, if one of them's already getting disarmed this round, that doesn't make so much sense. I think I'm most likely looking to just play a double heal turn here then, because our allies just need a lot of healing. Either I'm going to do 2 different target heals, or I'm going to do 1 heal and remove the poison. Okay. So this is move -1 +1 attack. +1 attack is scary. It's definitely scary. I wish I'd played disarm now, but obviously I couldn't know. -1 move means 2 movement, but our pushes are maximum of 2 anyway, so it's not going to be super helpful. No, there's no real way we can make that work, is there? I don't think so. I guess if we consider using this top, I don't think there's a way. I mean, I guess we all run down. This guy maybe can't make it to us. How much movement do we have? 3 maximum if we use this. Otherwise 2. Even with 3, the Voidwarden doesn't move first. Yeah, Hatchet's just in a bad spot. I guess if we do this top, we can grant movement. So I suppose if Hatchet goes here, then we can grant Hatchet movement to here. Yeah. that could be decent. So is it pots with 2 movement? He makes it to here. So if Redguard, so if Hatchet goes here, we go here. No, but he also can just make it to there. But one of these will come here first, so that's fine. If someone's here, yeah. All right, I think we can avoid him getting to us then. Is gonna be the plan here. Okay, so let's go ahead and use the Top of Desert Night. We got Ice and Dark. We're gonna make an attack 2, target 1 hex within an enemy within 2 hexes. I'm gonna attack number 2 here. This is the least likely to die. I mean, I don't think any of them are dying, really. There's a chance we kill this one, maybe. And it's going to go here. I mean, like, I want it to come here, attack, and be disarmed. So, yep, I'm going to attack that one, number 2. Nothing special to use beforehand. Okay, yep, just 2 damage. But disarmed. Okay. And then we're going to consume the fire, gaining 1 experience. And perform a move 4, shield oneself. So I think it's just going to be us going here, right? Means we get attacked by both. No, we only get attacked by one of them. Because then Hatchet moves here. Voidwarden, let's make sure we're right about that. So Hatchet doesn't move 2, obviously. And then we can do this bottom, where we move 2 and leave an ally move 2. And that allows Hatchet to run into hide in this corner, and us to move down here. This one will go here. This one with 2 movement can go like here, for example. And then this one will come here and attack Redguard. Yeah, that'll do it. Okay. I do love playing on TTS. It's so much easier for me. I mean, all right. I love playing on TTS from a strategic standpoint. It's so nice to, like, I feel like I play so much better here. I pay attention to everything a bit more. It's like just easier to grasp everything. Whereas when I play digital, things are so fast and they flow so freely, which I really appreciate. Because again, here, to be clear, I'm hoping to do 2 scenarios today. I'm not sure to, but I'm hoping to. Whereas in a day in digital, I'm doing like 4 or 5 scenarios. So, yeah. Is the good and the bad. But it's just a nice, I guess, it's a nice change of pace to get to play a bit on TTS, is the best way I should put this. Okay. So we're going to do an attack with Center Mass. It's just going to be an attack for simply 1 more. Ooh, next turn. No, Stopping Power will be fine. So we're going to do attack 3, range 3. We're going to target this one, because this one's disarmed, and this one would be disadvantaged against. I guess we can move here first and then attack this one. That actually probably makes sense. I would really like to make sure that one dies. And this one's getting... Yeah. Because it's very unlikely that I kill this one here. I mean, actually... No, it's actually not unlikely to kill this one here, is it? If we make an attack 3 here, and then the Voidwarden gifts an attack 5... That's not likely at all. Oh, crap. Yeah, I actually need to use my healing potion here, by the way, on the Redguard. It sucks to use this on the first turn. Or, I mean, the first room, but I think this is necessary. +2 is not easy. And, yeah, because we're going to be gifting the Redguard an attack here. So, yeah, actually, it makes sense to attack this one. Because we're pretty like... I mean, we do an attack 3 and then an attack 5, essentially, with advantage. Yeah. So the thing is, if this one dies here, then I actually regret using the potion. But it's fine, we can still heal Hatchet. All right. If it dies, I do regret. I could have some regrets here. No, but it's too risky. Otherwise, if it hits me, it's attacking at +1. Doesn't have strengthen. It's attacking at +1. I have 1 shield, and I would have 3 life. So it should make me lose a card. Yeah, it's better to use the potion than a card. Okay, so we'll make our attack 3, range 3, targeting number 6 here. I'm just so afraid that we flip like a -1 here, basically. Yep, exactly. That is exactly what I was afraid of. Okay. So then we just do a move 2 here. I'm certainly not pushing this one. I actually want this one to come up. Okay. So now the Voidwarden goes. We're going to first use the top of Gift of the Void. We're gonna consume Dark using Master Influence, but we're gonna create Dark again, so Dark's just staying there. So we're gonna do Poison, range 3. You are adjacent to us already. Yep. 1 adjacent ally may perform attack 3, range 4, targeting the target of the poison. If they do this, ally suffers 2 damage. So Redguard's going to suffer 2. I'm going to poison you. Chat, are we only doing 2 scenarios today? Because we wipe in Blackfire. We can wipe. Again, these characters, like starting characters who are like average balance level, right? Black Barrow is an easy scenario, but +2 is not easy. We could wipe, definitely. So we attack this target here. We give the Redguard an attack here. This is attack +1 because of Master Influence, and +1 because of the poison, and with advantage. So we really want a +1 here. Nice. All right. We didn't need to use the heal potion in the end then, but it was just so much safer. So this ends up being a 6. Gotta love Gift of the Void. I mean, it has a cost. Obviously, the healthier was a real cost. It was the reason we had to use the healing potion. But all right, and then we're gonna do a move to ourself. So we could go here, but no, that doesn't work. So we go here. This actually worked out amazingly. And then one ally within range 3 and perform heal 2. Perform move 2, sorry. Which is very important. Okay. Bandit cards go. This one's disarmed. Moves to here. This one, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. It's actually our choice here because its focus is the red guard anyway. I guess I'd rather have it be on top of another coin. Also not closer to our super weak character. Alright, so you lose this, this, and this. Alright. 14 initiative gets us before anything they do. That's always pretty easy. 18 initiative gets us before they move, which means we're pretty safe as well. As for us, yeah, this definitely makes sense here. We have a good initiative next turn as well. Theoretically, probably just doing some healing, but that's fine. So this, I mean, those cards we didn't have to explain why we're using them. We're obviously going on the earlier initiatives to go before their 30s, and we're just playing our 2 cards remaining. Here, our choice is pretty simple as well. We actually have Dark, so theoretically we can move next to something and hit it. We also get to disarm something. So here's the thing. Our initiative is perfect here by going at 26. We don't need to go at 15 because the red guard gets to move anyway. So the red guard can attack and move away if they go at 15 because red guard goes before 15. Then they're going to do nothing because no one will be next to them. And then we get to disarm one of them for the next round. Otherwise, if they go 30 or later, which is when they can move, we'll have already disarmed them beforehand. And potentially make a free attack. We'll see. This just works perfectly. This is all perfectly planned. All right, here we go. Bandit guard's 30. This is just going to be +1 move, -1 attack. Okay. Cool. Oh, this is actually not a sarcastic cool. Okay, so we're going to simply make an attack 3 immobilize, targeting number 2 here. Yeah, all right. Can't wait to get some perks. 2 damage and immobilized. And then we're going to do a move 3, all attacks starting us this round of disadvantage. That's not going to matter because we're not going to get attacked this round. Would I rather be here or here? I don't know. Probably here is fine. No, probably here is fine, actually. Yep. Oh, no, because we have multi-target at range 2, so maybe here is fine. I guess this one's going to move up anyway. So it'll go to, like, here. That's fine. I guess it doesn't have to move up. Nope. This is all fine. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't really matter much. Maybe here is actually better. Because then we have range 2 attacks on either of them. Okay, so Hatchet's up next. So we have the top of stopping power as an attack 3, range 2. Just that. Attacking number 2 here. So here we go. Wow. Impressive. What the deuce? I mean, we had some decent draws earlier, but man. So yeah, that was a -2, so we did 1 damage. And then we're going to do a move 3 on bottom and just move up like this. Okay. Well, I mean, we're not taking any damage this round, which is good, but this round still went a lot worse than expected. Okay, so we're going to use the bottom of Resign Frenzy. I mean, the ordering doesn't matter. Yeah, I kind of want this to stay where it is, I think, so I'm not going to move it. So I'm going to do the top of Lure of the Void, disarming you. Why not? And then I'm going to use the bottom of Resign Frenzy. Well, see, this can occasionally matter. We're going to consume the dark, gain 1 experience, and this allows us to do a move 3, attack 2. 1, 2, 3, just going close to the door because we don't have a ton of movement. Making an attack 2 on this target. All right, there we go. One of us can flip well. All right, we're done. And they're done because this one's disarmed, this one's immobilized. All right, so from here we're going to play these 2 cards. I guess we positioned ourselves in a way that our multi-target heal is never really going to work here. Well, we can make it work. I mean, I'm not exactly sure what we're going to do. We're going to play these 2 cards. I think I'm going to take a long rest on Hatchet. Hatchet is at 2 life. Really appreciates having the boots. And it's annoying that we weren't able to get this yet. But It also has already played a loss, whereas Redguard has not. So let's try to do a long rest there. I think this is relatively safe to do a long rest. There should probably be like one enemy attacking, but I think letting one of these attack once is worth it for the long rest. Maybe not, actually. I don't know. Boots are so important on Hatchet. That's tough. That is tough. I mean, I guess. Yeah, I'm supposed to declare at the same time, so I can't see what the short rest here is going to do. It's not like it's going to matter. Because us, we're not attacking here. We're doing some heals, but or we can give some shield to the Redguard, but that's still not great. It's still not. No, all right, all right. Let's short rest. It's still an attack 4 that we're letting through if we long rest. I do actually really want to keep that, but I don't want to reroll. I would go down to 1 life, and more significantly, I could lose some more important cards. I mean, there aren't that many more important cards, but still. Yeah, okay. I mean, that card is fine. Certainly is good against guards, but I'm not going to lose sleep over losing it. All right. Hello and good day. Hello, kind soul. Welcome. Good day to you as well. So why don't we do a multi-target range attack? I mean, this one has 2 health left. We should normally, especially after everything we flipped, be able to count on getting a +0. So this kills one and damages the other. 16 initiative is perfect. If they go at 15, they're going to have shield. My attack's going to be less effective, but they're also not going to do anything this round, so that's fine. And I can use this opportunity to do a little bit of healing. Yeah, I can heal myself. Oh, but I actually need to move. No, then it can be Hatchet that moves. That means I actually have to change the initiatives here, but that's fine. So Hatchet needs to attack the other one, which we can actually do with, for example... So I don't want to necessarily use the favorite here. I shouldn't have to. I do need to go with 430. I like using stopping power here just because this is an opportunity for it just to be in attack 3. I guess the push is actually going to be good in the next room, so maybe not. Maybe not. So let's just do our standard attack here, and there's no need. There actually is a need to play this, yeah. Because we actually want to move one closer to the Voidwarden. We don't necessarily want to go adjacent to them, though. So I actually would need to like go here to be able to get the Hatchet. To get the favorite back. All right, so in this case, we're going later here because we need the Redguard to be, or sorry, Hatchet to be closer to us so that we can heal both of them. I guess this is dangerous if they go at 15. This one is hitting us. If it hits us, it hits us. I mean, at this point, this certainly can't happen. They've already flipped 4 cards, so they're 50% to go at 15, but they're only 25% to do the attack poison at 15, so... No, and they're still not. They're doing their range attacks. Jeez. They do not believe taking a turn off, but this should hopefully be okay. Again, assuming reasonable flips. All right, attack 2, range 2, target 2 from the Redguard. We'll do number 2 and then 5. I was going to do 5 and then 2, and I should always go against my initial instinct. Okay, well, actually I should have, because that was great. We just killed both of them. No, we don't even have to count on flips from... Oh my god, the coins. I thought we were going to beat the Hatchet and looting. We're not going to beat the Hatchet and looting. Okay, and then we're just going to do... We're going to heal ourselves for 2. Do a heal 2, range 2 on ourselves. Okay. Wow, that was nice. Especially because of this. Now we're going to do a move 1, loot 1. To here. Oh, yeah. Hello, my old friend. All right, and we've got the favorite back. Nothing at the top. Okay, they're done. I don't know. I guess I clicked long rest at some point when I was thinking of it. But anyway, so then we're going to do a heal 2, range 2, target 2. No one has poison, but and this is still 4 healing. We'll take it. And then we're going to do a default move to... Do we want to be closer to the door is the question. I'm not sure that we do. It's nice to be in position because we have so many good non-move bottoms. I think we're probably just long resting next round, though. So should we just get out of line of sight? At the same time, the Redguard, when we open the door next turn, is just going to be on the door. Maybe we just don't long rest, and we just go like 1, 2, like so. Yeah, I think this is fine. Yeah, we can even just move on to the door with this, right? So this is fine. don't have boots to add 1 additional movement once we get there. I think there's going to be 1 in range. I'm pretty sure there's going to be 1 here. It's possible in 3 players there's only going to be here and here, though. We'll see. We shall see. Still, I think it makes sense. I think I want to open the door next round is basically my point. And I have the fire, so this just works so perfectly. As far as range attacks go here, I don't really have any reason left to create fire. I guess I do have this bottom, because I could create fire again with this, and there's actually this. So I actually have a lot of reasons to create fire. But I also like the idea of disarming one. I think there's going to be an elite, is why. Maybe just get 2 regulars on the sides. In that case, if I can't do anything, what would I rather do? I mean, what would I rather not have going forward? I guess I'd probably rather not have this going forward, to be honest. And I would rather do that this turn, so I think in both cases that makes sense. Because then I can theoretically set up fire and do a fire-based thing afterwards. Even, I can still have this combo to then do like this plus this, which definitely looks good. Okay, so as for us, I'm gonna go late, create wind, save our push attack for when we have the wind. So I don't have anything else great to do then. I mean, I guess we're just attacking with follow through. That's fine though. That is fine. Okay, so here we should short rest. No reason to be greedy. Ooh, no, we can't lose that. That's really important. So if I reroll here, the only thing that I will be more than happy to lose will be the forced movement disarm. Okay, that's fine. Not because, in general, I want the forced movement disarm more, but because the forced movement disarm is going to be important for clearing, potentially important for clearing the trap wall in this room. Okay, so what are we going to do? We don't have any relevant elements. Should be able to do this, though. And we shouldn't need to move. So we can do like this and this, giving ourselves another curse, but that's fine. Yeah. I guess. Yeah, and this way Hatchet will, I mean, we'll always have someone next to us to do this. And stunning for the next round is just fine. Okay, let's do it. So red guard's up. We're going to do a move 4. We're going to consume the fire. Where are you? To gain 1 experience and gain 1 shield. 1, 2, 3, 4 onto the door. Okay, I thought there would be an elite here. Very happy with my choice of card. So let's flip for all the enemies. I mean, I guess they had this, so the disarm didn't do anything. Yeah, damn it, I could have used the other thing in the end. I'm not happy with my choice. Very unhappy. Nah, that's fine. All right, +1 range, 6 range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Whew, that's fortunate. By the skin of our teeth. All right. So now we're going to use the top of Desert Knight to do an attack 2, target 1 enemy within 2 hexes, disarm. Disarming is not going to matter, but I will make my attack 2. Who knows? He has 2 shield, but I could flip something. I could flip something. No, it's actually the worst thing to flip, because if I got a positive modifier there, I would get damage, and if I get a negative modifier, at least get 1 out of my deck. Here, I just got rid of consistency for my deck while gaining nothing. All right, well, we can create those 2 elements. So guard goes, he has 1 additional shield, because he didn't have enough of that. He has now 3 shield and 2 retaliate. All right, Hatchet goes. So we're going to do the bottom of Power Pitch. Just go to here, create wind. Where are you? There we go. And then we can attack with follow through. Should we use the favorite here? Yeah, that's probably fine. Next turn we're going to be doing a pushing attack. I mean, that's going to put the favorite really far from us, but then we'll be able to get follow through back at some point. I don't know, it is actually costly to use the favorite here. I guess we're going to be granted another attack this round, so we could save the favorite for that attack. That attack will have advantage. Yeah, so let's actually not use the favorite here, but there's no reason not to attack, I think. I guess it depends on what we've drawn from our deck thus far. No, we've actually drawn primarily negative cards from our deck thus far, so I don't want to reshuffle, and my deck skews more positive at this point, but even drawing a +1 here doesn't deal damage. So there's actually no reason to attack here. So I will just not attack, because he has 3 shield, and I'm making an attack 2. Alright, the archers don't do anything, because they don't have range, and they don't move. Okay, so now we get to go. So first, I'm going to make the Hatchet suffer 2 damage, because the Hatchet can do a much bigger attack here, and also doesn't need the health as much now with the current setup. So we're going to do Poison range 3, targeting this guard. Boom. And now we give the Hatchet, so we're going to consume the... we're going to recreate Dark anyway, so yeah, we consume Dark, recreate Dark, using Master Influence. This, again, makes this into an attack 5 with advantage, targeting the Bandit Guard. And because it's advantage and everything, we will go ahead and use the favorite here. So, boom. Alright, so that turns this into an attack 8 with advantage, made by Hatchet, targeting the Elite Guard. No big deal. Alright, we'll take those. So that's a 10. Yeah. Not bad, not bad. Okay, and then just for good measure, we're going to do stun range 3, and we can actually... Oh, we used the dark there. I didn't mean to use the dark there. I forgot I was using on this. I'm just going to use the ice. I'm never using ice. Yeah, so the ice should be gone. I forgot that I had this. There's no reason to curse myself here. I know it's sort of like a post-decision thing. I had forgot my other card. It's not like dealing damage there changed anything from this. Suddenly made me decide, oh, I actually do want to curse myself, or didn't want to. I wanted to curse myself before, but now I don't. Anyway, so we stun him. Range 3. Stun, consume dark to ignore the curse. So we just used ice on this instead. We don't care about ice ever anyway, so it's always just fine to use ice for this, for Master Influence, and leave the wind still, and then we create a new dark. Okay, pretty good round for us. Alrighty, so... this plus this, for sure. Oops. So this is going to be a move 5, which allows us to move a bunch up into the room, but we need to then be somewhere safe. Man, if only we had an Invis Cloak. Can Redguard move a bunch too? Not so much a bunch, right? How much health do we have on the Redguard? We're full, so I mean we can't actually tank all those archers even. Sort of crazy. So we can create light and create fire, I guess, by doing this. We're not even close to making it to them. And they're not really going to come up. The guard is stunned, actually. So, actually what I want to do is to go as late as possible here. Oof. I kind of want to keep these two cards together. The problem is if I play this here and I keep these two cards, what am I doing next turn, you know? So, I think we should still do this. Just hope that 35 is after the archers. A lot of the time, 35 is after the archers, to be clear. I would say the majority of their actions are before 35. So I think we have decent odds for that. I guess the annoying thing that can happen here is them mobilizing the red guard. But it definitely, I think, makes sense to let them try to let them advance first, rather than just running into them and taking a million arrows to the face or knee, as it were. Okay. So I guess what I'm doing here is probably healing the Hatchet, since the Hatchet's going to get into a bad spot. We don't really need any additional help here. So I'm going to heal the Hatchet. Hatchet's going to move a bunch, so I need to go before Hatchet goes. Hatchet's going at 35, so 43 doesn't cut it. I don't really want to use my good initiatives here. Hatchet could just not move that much. This is range 3. So if Hatchet moves to here, Hatchet really wants to go more than that, though. Hatchet wants to move a lot. George is getting upset. I just don't want to waste any of these bottoms. I mean, whatever. I guess this is a free curse. It just makes so much sense to heal the Hatchet here. It's really important. I mean, yeah, sure, it poisons him, but I think him being poisoned and having 5 health is better. I guess we could do Signs of the Void Top for the Red Guard to let the Red Guard advance more. But I already counted it. 2 movement plus 3 is only 5. It still doesn't get us there, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're still 1 away. And this is why I would love to have had the other boots, to be clear. This is why everyone wants Boots of Striding. The shield is nice. It's not enough, though. It's not enough. can give... I guess we technically could do 2 granted movement things with this and the top. Just do nothing else. That actually... And then we could go... We're not healing anyone, but I mean, we're giving a bit of shield. So we do this plus this. Oh, but then we still have to go with this initiative, which sort of sucks. But I guess we're not getting any shield from our actions this turn anyway. Man, we're going to get pummeled. We're going to take 3, 2, 2. Didn't even manage to... I didn't even intend to say it. So we're going to take 7 here. We have no healing potion or anything like that afterwards. It does let us get up enough there. I think it's better to try to count on them not coming to us, though. But then the shielding just doesn't make sense. All right, so... but maybe the granted move here is still good. So then what else could we still do with that? Because this still goes after Redguard, so this works well enough. Then if they move up a bit, Redguard can still hit this turn, create all the elements, and get to go ham next turn. So what can we do as a top action then? If we're only going to move 2 ourselves, I guess we can move maximum 3 ourselves. Just 1, 2, 3, which is not nearly close enough to do anything that affects them. So we should do something that doesn't interact with them. And the Hatchet's 100% always killing this guard, right? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, pushes into the trap. The trap always kills. These are damage traps. So yeah, I think then we're just doing this. This is only heal 2 on the Hatchet and heal 1 on ourselves, but I guess this is fine. We're not going to have poison to remove soon anyway. Okay, and I guess if the archers go first and hit the Redguard, we can actually heal Hatchet and Redguard. Alright, well, there's a lot of unknowns here, but I think this is probably the best turn we can cobble together here. 31. Oh, that's good. That's so good. That's just the dream. It's so good. I mean, the best thing they could have done is like something where they moved less, I guess, and made more attack, because then they really wouldn't be hitting us. But this is not the immobilize, and they still go before the Hatchet. So this is actually the dream. Okay, so I have 3 movement and 4 or 5 range, respectively. So this, with 5 range, needs to move up 2, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yes. I'm just going to move all of them first. I'm with 3 movement. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, hold on. 1, 2, 3. This is 4 range. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yeah, so that's great because only the elite hits. So this is fine. This is fine. So it's going to attack for 4 here. We have not refreshed that yet. We have no shielding. Okay, so we take 3 damage. That is more than fine. Oh my god, it just worked out so well. Sometimes lucky. Alright, Hatchet's up. So we're going to do the top of Stopping Power. Consume Wind. Gain 1 experience. Do an attack 3, range 3, push 2. Targeting the guard. Okay. So the attack itself does 2 damage. Then he still has 1 life left. He gets pushed into the trap. And dies. And sadly the favorite goes with him. That would have been the only good thing about killing him here. Well, that's what would have been nice about killing him here. But then we'd still have a trap wall, so this way, even if we don't get a forced move into the trap wall, we're still fine. I'm not going to create dark here. It's the annoying thing. Maybe we can. Maybe we can. Alright. No bandit guards. Oh, sorry. Then we're going to do a move 5 where we gain 1 more experience, by the way. By the way. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we do get to have it all? This is only extremely dangerous. But extremely dangerous, but extremely satisfying. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. So we get a coin, which for some reason I just threw over here. And we get the favorite. Okay. That worked out really well. Sorry, I'm a bit slow here. Why did the archer that was on the left move all the way to the right? You're right, actually. It shouldn't have. I was just thinking this is the fastest path around, but it actually should have just stopped in any of these hexes. So it actually should go to one of these 2, right? Because, yeah, its closest hex is... Because I guess... All right, so the reason why... No, good catch. Thank you, G-String. I was thinking that they would have line of sight, or that they would have range from this hex, because it feels 1 more up, if you understand what I mean. But it's actually not because of the way the room is shaped, right? This is actually not 1 closer to the red guard. I mean, it's not then, for example, where this is. It's not in range. I was thinking that it was moving to try to get to here because this would be range, and so by here it would be 1 away. But you're right. Since it's actually the closest spot where it has range is here, it actually wouldn't go there. It would just go to either of these two axes. I guess I'd rather have it be 1 close to the trap, so we can have it be there. Good call. Good catch. Thank you very much. You're absolutely right. It should have been like that. Should only move 2. Okay. So mana cards are done. So now we have the Voidwarden. So with 3 movement, we're already in range here. So we don't need the gifted movement, which is great because I'd really like to create dark here, and I'd really like to heal the Hatchet. So what I'm going to do is instead, I'm just going to use the bottom of Close to the Abyss as default move 2, plus use my boots for a total move 3. 1, 2, 3. No, here's good because then I have range 3 bottoms from them. Yep, go here, and then I'm going to use the top of Black Boon to do a heal 5, range 3, poison, creating dark. So poison you, and heal you for 5. Definitely good. I mean, again, the poison is costly, but rather be at 7 poisoned than at 2 not poisoned, right? And again, the dark is actually going to be very... I guess it's not actually going to be that significant, but... I just tuned in. Did you finally add perks to the base JLT characters to make them fit into the base campaign? Yes. Well, currently I was running with General CGO's thing. I'll look into... Marcel talked about stuff. So Marcel said that Isaac says that this should just have an additional perk to ignore. I mean, my issue with this, all right, let me go in order. So General CGO's suggestion was to turn both of these into remove 2 -1s. So he has 2 times remove 2 -1s, and then to turn this basically into add 2 +1s and ignore negative item effects. This Red Garb does have a cool name, I agree. So this makes sense because you have the exact same number of perks as before, 15, and you have the exact same number of modifiers as before, because you add 2 +1s, which is the exact same you would normally add. You remove the same number of -1s. This transforms so perfectly. Otherwise, Marcel said Isaac said just to add another perk, but it's weird if you add another perk for a couple reasons. Then you get to 16 perks, although we'll get why maybe that's less of an issue in a second. The other thing is that so you just have a perk to remove negative item effects, but that's not what a tanky character in Gloomhaven has. They always have something else added to it. Either, oh dear God, I almost pulled the box out again. I've really got to fix this cable. All right, that is something I'm doing this weekend. I'm fixing this stupid fiber cable because that is dangerous. Don't call it stupid. Fair enough. But the add 2 +1 ignore negative scenarios is really OP. No, it's not negative scenarios. It's ignore negative items. Ignore negative items, add 2 +1s is definitely not really OP. I can explain that in a second. But anyway, so otherwise, if you just add a perk that ignores negative item effects, not scenarios, to be clear, you don't add any other modifiers with it, which is sort of weird. It's not necessarily bad. It is weird. It is bad at level 1 or level 2. Later on, it's actually good, but it's just weird because every other tanky class at least adds 1 +1. So in that case, I would just have to copy paste a modifier, which I certainly could do, but it certainly seems like the other suggestion is just cleaner. So, and then, yeah, this becomes a little bit weirder though if the other characters are supposed to have the ability to ignore negative scenario effects, which makes sense that they sort of should have. So I don't know, it's tough. And then in that case, they have 16 anyway, so then you could just add a 16th perk here, but then again, you really need something else to be on it. All right, so about the actual perk. So again, the brute version of this perk is ignore negative item effects and add 1 +1. There are other classes in the game, certainly, that have ignore negative item effects and add more than 1 +1, that add 2 +1s. There's more than one instance of this, right? So this is sort of like the common tanky perk. And I would say the Redguard's tankiness certainly aligns more with other tanky classes than the Brute. The Redguard is certainly a tankier character, like a much more inclined to play tanky than the Brute is. Definitely much closer to other characters in the game that are more inclined to be tanky. So it makes more sense that the Brute's perk aligns with the other ones from a consistency perspective. In terms of balance, it's actually a little bit weird, right? So the perk that ignores negative item effects and adds 2 +1s is very good at level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, right? Early on, adding +1s to your deck is great because your deck is more negative than positive, well, or is average to 0, so adding more +1s makes your deck more consistent and higher average damage. Eventually, this is actually bad, is the funny thing, right? As you get to higher levels and more perks, you would actually not, like, you would choose to remove +1s from your deck if you could, so you would actually rather have a perk that just said ignore negative item effects without anything else added to it, or like ignore negative item effects and remove a 0 or something like that, or remove 2 zeros, or remove -1, things like this. So this is why it's a little bit weird to have one that doesn't do anything, because it's sort of it's worse on both spectrums as from a design balance perspective, because it's cool to have a tanky character feel good about being tanky in the beginning of the game, right? It's good for them to be rewarded for doing what a tanky character is supposed to do, which is wear heavy armor. And they feel rewarded by that because they're like, yeah, I got this great perk. I get to add some +1s to my deck right away. So I feel like I'm going to deal more damage. And I'm also going to be able to be tanky right away. So this feels good. At the same time, the fact that it's less good later on is also okay, right? Because it's probably better for the game not to be too balanced around late game perk decks wanting to be like as tight as possible. Basically, making it harder to min max later on in terms of having as clean of a perk deck as possible, which regularly draws the same positive modifiers, is also a good thing. Like, it's better probably for a perk deck to be better early and worse later than for it to be worse early and better later, essentially. For a perk to be that way. Because, again, that's like the perk deck as you get to the end, the min maxing of perk decks is a little bit weird, and I would say it's generally better to avoid leaning into that too much. Okay, I see it's a perk you want in the early game. By early game, I mean early progress in the campaign. Yes, when you don't have a lot of perks. I mean, to be clear, it's a perk that you always want, then ignore negative item effects. You'll always take this on a tanky character. My point is that, yeah, the difference between having the 2+1s and not is you would want them in the early campaign, you would not want them in a late campaign. But late campaign is already easier, and early campaign is harder, and it makes it just provides smoother and more like friendly balance to do it the way that it is already done, which is why these sort of perks make sense. And again, why for multiple reasons. All right, I think this cable is actually just being pulled on by something. Hold on. Which is why it's so tight. It's actually just become shorter. Ugh. We definitely didn't move. I mean, all right. Well, I'll have to look into that. I must have moved it. All right. Well, now I've got to be very careful not to break the fiber today. Dear God. And I can fix this later. Okay, so we're on the red guard's turn. So the red guard is going to perform the bottom of shocking advance. We're going to create both elements here. We're going to create fire and light. So we're doing a move 3. We'll create fire. 1, 2, 3, right up front and center. I think this makes sense. And yeah, we have a move? Ooh, yeah, we could. Ooh, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Okay. So then we do an attack 3, range 2, pull 1. I won't be pulling anything with this attack. I'm going to attack the elite. I want to kill the elite first, and it's actually pretty likely that I get to kill the elite next turn, as long as we flip an average of. I mean, actually, just for a lot of reasons. Yeah, it should be pretty likely to kill the elite next turn. I guess maybe is this too much overkill on the elite? I guess we'll do an attack 2 plus a 3 plus 5. It is overkill, but it's also better just to make sure we kill a target. All right, yeah, let's attack the elite. Okay, here we go. +1, so 4. Hey, Lune, thank you very much for the Prime subscription. I really appreciate it. Merci beaucoup. Je l'apprécie beaucoup. C'est très gentil. Ah oui, I'm supposed to click this. It really wants me to do this every time now, to click this. I don't know why it keeps wanting me to do K-pop things. I'm just doing it. I don't mean the other thing there to be insincere. It's just Twitch will keep bothering me until I do it for some reason. I don't know why. There's just stream elements or something. But anyway, I do really appreciate the subscription. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup. Vraiment. C'est très gentil. All right. So we attacked for +1, so we did 4 damage. Boom. Okay, and we're done. All right, so this just works out so perfectly, and I'll explain why. We need 3 movement, our jump boots. Oh, we don't have the jump boots! Oh, okay, that's fine. Made sense using it here, especially since you're starting off on Twitch. Feels better to support smaller channels. Thank you. I appreciate that. We don't have the jump boots. So here's an example where the jump boots would be good. In my mind, what I was doing was going to do a move 3 jump to the other side and then do some pushing. In the end, I'm not going to do some pushing, but that's okay. We still have another way to put one of them into the trap, and we're going to do this, I think, as early as possible. Yeah, we just got to go early here. I guess I don't have to use the dark, so I could just do this. They have too many things. I mean, technically they can go at 14 here, but they have at least one more card that goes like we're doubling the possibility that they go before us if we go at 23, at least doubling. They might even have one more card. I don't think so. I think they only have the 18. So by going at 15 or the 16 or 18, by going at 15, only the 14 goes before us, and this is just pretty important because obviously we're disarming something and putting it into a trap. Tu es français? Je suis pas français. Je viens des États-Unis. J'habite en France. J'habite à Paris. Mais en fait, je savais que Lunet est parisien aussi, donc c'était pour ça que je l'avais remercié en français. Je l'avais remercié en français. Pardon. Évidemment, je suis pas français, mon français n'est pas parfait. Okay. So this makes sense as early as possible. We're just playing this as default, but our top is just going to be so good here that it makes sense to accept playing a default bottom just to go early to make sure we go before the archers here. Ah, Sync tab. Thank you very much. Is that meant to be a baguette? The emote that you're all spamming there? Thank you very much for the Prime subscription. I do really appreciate it. Merci beaucoup encore. C'est très gentil. Donc, en fait, une chose en français que je connais jamais bien. Bon, tu avais utilisé tu. Donc, ici, dans ce contexte-là, on peut utiliser tout. Je sais jamais. C'est très difficile pour moi de savoir quand. Bon, je sais plutôt bon, avec les gens en personne, plutôt quand on doit utiliser vous et tout. Mais en fait, ici, j'aurais utilisé vous, mais parce que, en fait, je sais pas. Parce qu'ici, je suppose que c'est censé être friendly. Donc, I guess, c'est plus sympathique. Ok. Bon, donc, merci beaucoup, c'est très gentil. Et donc, t'es parisien aussi? Vu que t'avais dit parisien aussi? Tu veux dire toi aussi? Ah, très bien. Comment ça va le curfew? Pas trop dérangeant? Sur l'internet, tu peux utiliser tu tout le temps et utiliser vous quand il y a plusieurs personnes. Ok, ça marche. Merci, c'est gentil. And sorry to everyone else for speaking in French just a little bit, but certainly after a Prime subscription, again, which I appreciate very much. Thank you. Merci. Only right. I feel like I'm the only one Englishman in chat. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's the French invasion for sure. Ça va plus de Gloomhaven le soir. Ah, plus de Gloomhaven le soir. Oh oui. That does suck. Sorry. All the more reason to start playing with your friends on TTS or on Gloomhaven Digital, right? But yeah, it does suck. Otherwise, you can organize it on the weekends. Like, for example, par exemple, demain, on a un de nos meilleurs amis qui, bon, c'était son anniversaire hier, et donc il vient demain pendant la journée, on va jouer des jeux de société toute la journée. Okay, yep, everything looks good here. We have a reasonable plan, trying to play around as much as we can. Let's go. Okay, 44. We could have been greedy with the red or with the Voidwarden, but it's definitely better, I think, to not been greedy. So here, in the end, the push doesn't do much. Just give us an experience and adds +1 attack. Ah, merci, c'est gentil. Je suis content. Logging off because at work. Just want to say, okay, yeah, thank you very much. I'm glad the guide helped. Je suis très content que le guide t'a aidé. Et bon, avec plaisir. Et whenever you'd like to come back, feel free. Take care. Good luck at work. And thank you again. Merci encore. Okay, so bye. Ciao. We're going to do this first. So I guess I didn't need to do the move 3. I could have done this. It made sense because I had to move anyway. Might as well get the disadvantage on their attacks. So I'm doing a move 3. All enemies targeting me this round get disadvantage. They're going to be muddled anyway, so it doesn't change much. I'm going to move up here to draw aggro, and I'm going to hit these two. So I'm going to consume fire and light. I'm going to gain 1 experience. Do you speak any other languages, streamer? Puedo hablar un poco de español. He hablado español mucho en el pasado? ¿En el pase? Ugh, lo siento. Hace mucho tiempo después he hablado español. I do speak a little bit of Spanish. I used to be fluent in Spanish, to be clear, a long time ago, but because that's actually what I studied during school, and I'm generally pretty good with foreign languages, or traditionally have been, so I was able to learn it pretty quickly, but I lost a lot of it. I just haven't had practice of it. On top of that, in truth, it's kind of weird because I also learned a bit of Japanese, and back in the day, again, I don't speak this well at all anymore. But for example, learning Japanese didn't interfere with my Spanish at all. But then when I started learning French, it really messed with. Where do you come from in the U.S.? I come from Central Illinois, so by Chicago. I mean, by from a foreigner standpoint, by Chicago, a couple hours from Chicago, which I guess by U.S. standards is closer than by French standards. Yeah. So when I started learning French, Spanish was actually really a handicap for me. I had a lot of difficulty because the two languages are so close. Like learning Spanish, English didn't wasn't a handicap, and learning French, English isn't a handicap, and learning Japanese, Spanish wasn't a handicap, or vice versa. But learning learning French, I kept using or wanting to use Spanish words for French words because so many of them are so similar because of obviously the Latin roots. So I actually kind of like had to actively forget a fair amount of my Spanish, which I want to pick back up certainly because it's really a shame to just kind of left this. Um, but yeah, for now I don't speak Spanish very well. Oh, you're from Central Illinois, Peoria. I'm originally from Peoria, actually, and yeah, I'm from Peoria, and I went to university and Champaign-Urbana, U of I. As a French, every time I speak Spanish, I end up using French words. Yeah, so you understand my pain. It's tough, right? There's so many words that are so close, or that sound like they should be right. The the one that I nice Game Street. Um, the one that got me for the longest time actually wasn't necessarily a specific word. It was actually a pronunciation issue. Going from en in Spanish, in, to en in French took me so long. I mean, my wife was extremely, I mean, girlfriend at the time, but was extremely patient with me. But I think she was pulling out her hair a little bit after the 10 millionth time that I pronounced en as in, en. I too went to UI. Ah, cool. I can't jumble my French with Spanish because I don't speak either language. What language do you speak? Or just English, which is also fine. Do you speak any other languages other than English? I guess is my question then. Okay, so this is an attack 4 against both of these targets, number 4 and number 6, in that order. Love to get some sort of big flips here, but we'll take whatever we can get. Oh yeah, hmm, that's fine. Killing the lead is more important than killing the regular. So we actually did 5 damage here, and we did 3 damage here. And I have pushes, but there's no real reason that I would want to push any of these. I am of one language, man. That's okay. Everyone has their own priorities, and there are a million things to learn in the world. So if you're not going to use foreign languages, I mean, like I think I love learning foreign languages, and I think it's great. But that's because obviously I travel a lot and have lived in a lot of different countries. So it's really practical for me. Also, as a language teacher, I mean, in the U.S., I studied to be an English teacher, which isn't exactly the same thing as a language teacher. But living abroad, obviously, it's been more about teaching English as a foreign language. So it's just kind of like fits naturally into the domain that I work in. But if for other people, like there are a million things that I would have been happy to learn in my life that I haven't had time to or haven't had the opportunity to. That I think as long as we learn something, it's interesting, right? It doesn't have to be a foreign language. All right, so I'm going to use the bottom of Fancy Hat to add +1 to all my attacks this round. So I'm going to do attack 1, range 3, target 3, muddle. Targeting, I guess we'll do 4, 5, 6 in that order. Yeah, it's for instance like this that I'll be happy to have the goggle. I guess I am supposed to use the favorite here, right? So yeah, we should actually use the favorite here, I suppose. Right now I'm learning to play Gloomhaven, and that's a very reasonable thing to learn. So the Voidwarden can deal 5 direct damage to one of these by putting it into the trap, right? And it'll also be disarmed even if somehow it doesn't die. So using the favorite here makes sense. We can just go loot that next turn pretty easily. Yeah, this definitely makes sense. because then all of them should die. Otherwise, here we'd have to get a +1. If we use the favorite here, hopefully we kill all of them, which is just so great. So 4, 5, and 6 in that order. And I guess I kind of got carried away speaking. I realize now that since I'm actually making VODs of this, I should be a little more careful about spending so long speaking in a foreign language because I guess most people who watch in English. So I apologize. But sometimes I get excited to speak with other French people across the internet. So I apologize. I'll try to be more conscientious of this in the future. It has been a while since I've been doing recording, so apologize. Now I'm wasting more time talking in foreign language. Okay, so 4, 5, 6 in that order. We're using the favorite on number 6, which will be our last attack. Okay, that's fine. Sure. We would have killed it anyway. So be it. This is still fine. So here we just got that, but that's okay. Or no, it was a +1 on the second one. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. It's dying anyway. Okay, and so the favorite goes here. And even if we're French, we still understand English. Yes, that's true. Which can't be said for all French. No. Okay, so now I'm going to use the bottom of Signs of the Void as a default move 2. I don't have my boots anymore, so the most I can move is 2, so I can not make it into any coins. I guess I wouldn't want to block that coin anyway. To be clear, though, I mean, when, how to put this? When I see the problems that some French have speaking English, I don't even blame French people. I actually blame, to a reasonable degree, though, the French school system, which doesn't necessarily do a great job. Like, obviously, in some places, yes. And to be clear, the French school system in general is amazing, actually. I look forward to having children here and getting them to go through the French school system. I actually think, on average, it's significantly better than in the US, having experienced both now. But I don't think teaching English is, on average, very excellent in France. I mean, for example, I've had some of my students who've had other teachers who've legitimately incorrectly corrected things. Like my student was doing something right, and another teacher had incorrectly corrected something, and like and just I mean, I mean stuff like this, you know. All right, so default move here, we target this, we disarm it. Oh, you're an English teacher? Yes. I mean, I'm currently an unemployed English teacher because, well, I guess I explained this before. I'm saying not speaking French, so I'll say this in English. So basically, I came back to France in March, and that was right before the confinement. So I actually had to apply for my titre de séjour when coming back, which for Americans who don't know what that is, it's basically it's the French equivalent of a green card. I had to apply for this to work, but with immediate confinement or lockdown, applicate the office which takes care of this was just completely shut down, so you just couldn't apply. So we sent emails and stuff and never heard anything back. Eventually they accepted ours, but only once things opened up. They accepted to accept my application, but only once everything had opened up again a couple months later. And unfortunately, because there was such a backlog, I think this is in June that they accepted to accept my application, and my appointment to give my application for my green card was given for mid-November in June. So basically, I have to wait to do this. First, I have to wait to get this appointment, and then after I do the appointment, at least then I'll get something called a récépissé, which should probably allow me to work. But until then, right now I couldn't even work legally if I wanted to. I have to wait to get my either a récépissé or eventually titre de séjour, which is green card, in order to be able to work in France. So that's why currently I have all this time to stream because I actually can't work. Also, I mean, right now, actually, I guess the situation is much more reasonable in schools. To begin with, the situation wasn't super reasonable in schools. So I wouldn't have felt super confident teaching or super comfortable teaching. Now it's got a lot better, so that would be fine. But yeah, I couldn't. So yes, I'm an English teacher, but I'm currently an unemployed English teacher due to Corona. Okay, so we're actually going to use the top of this, disarm range 3, targeting that archer, and then force the target to perform move 1. We'll consume the dark here because it's going away anyway, and it just gives us 1 free experience. And experience is nice. Okay, and the archers are done, and that's the end of the round. Okay, well, we can finally long rest on the Hatchet. We can long rest on the Void Red Guard as well. So long rest, long rest. And here, sadly, we have typically a lot of support abilities, and none of them, I mean, like healing or blessing, things like that. We just don't actually have any of them here. So the real question is, should we just long rest here? I guess not. This is actually tough. So what's going to happen is the Hatchet still needs to go pick up these coins, to be clear. I mean, not these coins. Well, yes, these coins, but specifically needs to pick up the favorite. So that's kind of one more turn. That being said, the way we approach this room is typically to open the door and then move out. So we so like basically the question is, do we have 2 turns of ticking around or 1 turn of ticking around ahead of us? I think we probably only want 1 turn of ticking around ahead of us. So in that case, we should just long rest now. Like we're just going to dick around here, and then next turn we're going in. If we were going to dick around for 1 more turn, we could just play 2 cards to do nothing here. I mean, to gain 1 experience in Great Dark, I guess. So yeah, let's just long rest. I'm sure we have a card we're happy to lose in there. All right, just give me a second. Sorry, I do have to blow my nose. Sorry about that. Fall allergies, I guess. I thought it was just that one day, but they haven't been great since. Okay, so triple long rest, start round. We'll just do all these, end round. Okay, refresh this, refresh this, refresh this. So our health has never dropped below half, so thus far we're still succeeding in this. Heal here, remove this, heal here. Okay. So we have to lose from these cards here. It's the last room. There's no poison left. Let's just get rid of this. Heals, and once you're going into the last room, you don't really care about your heal cards much anymore. Because healing is great at the end of fighting in a room or in between rooms, but at the end of fighting in this next room, the scenario is over, and in between rooms, there's no more in between rooms since we're going to the last room. So what do we want here? Kind of want big movement cards. Maybe the bottom heal isn't so necessary. We're going to have to move a lot, I think, in the upcoming fighting. We could even just set up shield spikes now. Have we already lost? No, we haven't lost any shield abilities. We could just use this opportunity to set up shield spikes. It will be very good against the... It won't actually be that good yet against the bones, because it's not that frequently we can do shielding. So we could get rid of this. Probably don't want to get rid of any of these. I think I want to keep the element generation combo in this. And yeah, this is just a bit more consistent. Let's just get rid of this. This is reasonable. I think we're going to have to move a lot. Basically, it's like if I wasn't going to move, I could get rid of Healing Sands, but I think I'm going to have to move a fair amount, so I'd rather get rid of that, even though that is a very good bottom. Okay, and as for here, so all these were in our discard. Yeah, the AoE combo is just not going to be impressive anymore. Skeletons have 1 shield, so hitting a bunch of them for 2 isn't great. It's too hard to be able to do that to the archers. I'll get rid of that, the Disorienting Barrage first. Simply, I mean, I guess actually Disorienting Barrage is a loss that could do a fair amount of damage. Not very conveniently though, since we don't have jump boots or anything like that. I mean, it's just, I guess it's sort of like 3 direct damage to all. It's like move 2, 3 direct damage to all adjacent enemies, more or less. Maybe that's not bad. Whereas this is just the ability to move and tank up, but also a bottom 12 initiative. They can add +1 to one of our attacks. No, I think I'll keep this. I don't know that this is really what I'm looking for in a loss here. Oops. All right, so we are ready to go. So Redguard should open this door and run away. I wish I had a top shield action. Basically, top action would do anything. I could just play Flame Shroud top here. I feel like I'm going to want the movement. But, I mean, 10 direct damage here. It's not... it can deal 10 direct damage. We've got the pull. Yeah, I said I would never use this, but maybe I can here. I'm just wondering what I can do on top here that'll actually be useful is basically the question. Because I want to open the door and then just run away. So with something like this, I mean, I could just do this top to heal myself for 1, but I don't think spending a top action to heal myself for 1 is great. I mean, I guess it's like top action to heal myself for 1, top action to do nothing, so heal myself for 1 is better, or play this loss. Playing the loss, I think, is fine here. I'm just concerned about losing this bottom. After that, we have basically no movement left. We shouldn't need a lot of movement, and when we want to get to the chest, we can just use our move 6 jump loss. Yeah, all right, let's give this a try. I think this is fine. This should deal some direct damage to these skeletons, which is pretty valuable, and we can pull the archers. The Voidwarden will heal you anyways. That's true. I mean, I'm considering whether the Voidwarden is far enough back that we could actually start attacking with the Voidwarden. But that is also a good point. Okay, so as for us, I want to get back the favorite and make a ranged attack. I can make my ranged attack first after the door opens, and then go grab the favorite. Okay. And so then for us... No, I actually don't want to heal the red card on Voidwarden, right? Because I definitely don't want to use... I don't want to do a large... Because I don't have the 2-target heal to anymore, and I don't want to do this. We could use Signs of the Void to open the door, and the red card could actually make an attack. That's actually maybe even better. And also have some shielding. You have the bottom heal somewhere? Yeah, I do have a bottom heal, but this is Gift of the Void, and this is going to be so important. I mean, like, as you level up on the Voidwarden, it becomes easier to not play this top, but at level 1, you just really have to play this top. This is such an important aspect of your damage, especially because here our goal is going to be to kill shielded living bones or to kill archers who are further away, so this is really, really important. This is just our best attack. So what if we use Signs of the Void? Gift of the Void is nice with the multi-target heal to gain Blessed at the same time. I was a little confused about that one, but yeah. So maybe we do shield spikes then, and because we can still choose to lose a different card. We could just set up shield spikes here, do this with this. All right, let's actually give that a try. This could be interesting, I think. This will be good against the bones, and it'll just be a good way of opening the door. What if the archers attack at 14 is the only annoying thing here? Now, if the archers attack at 14, then this sort of sucks. I guess no, because we don't have to. Oh no, because then he would. Yeah, he can. He doesn't have to move actually to be the one to open the door. He can just, for example, move here. I confused 2 cards. I misread. The first time I was thinking it was the ally that would become wounded. Misinterpret the poison. Yeah, I understand. Which makes sense because I mean, it's easy to confuse that since we already have another card that poisons allies, and at level 2 we're gonna have even another card that poisons allies. All right. So what else would we want to do as a bottom action then? If we're gonna do this as a top. Strengthening, I guess, no, we can actually strengthen, that's fine. We could do a strengthen on the hatchet, actually. Because strengthening the red guard's not going to do anything, because the red guard's top is going to be setting up shield spikes. TTS question. Was wondering if there's anything, maybe even with a shortcut, to use for the Cragheart's obstacles. So there's no shortcut, but so what you can do is, all right, let me just change this quickly. Happy to answer this question. I got to get something out here, and I don't want people to see other stuff necessarily. I'll get it out and show you, and then you're welcome to. And then I'll tell you where it was. Oh god. Creating the lag. What the hell? He's hiding frost. No, there's no frost-haven content in this. Okay. So, in this box here, what you want to do is you want to right-click on the box, and then you click search, and you'll look in it. I don't want to do this here because there's not really spoilers inside. It tells you that something exists, which is in itself sort of a spoiler. It's not a serious spoiler, it's just a very small one, but anyway. All right. So if you go in there and you search, you'll find this bag, this brown bag, which is one of the things in there, which says map tiles plus overlays, okay? So then you'll go in this, you right click on this, oops. All these things get very laggy, to be clear. You'll go in this and you click search, and it'll show you a bunch of bags, one of which is this green bag. I've already grabbed it out. So this is obstacles. So then you go in here, and what? Why can't I search in this? Oh, sorry. I guess this creates another bag. This is bag exception for sure. And then you go, so you pull that bag out of here, and then you go in this bag, and you find the boulder. Pull that out. And then what you can do is you just mouse over this boulder and press Control C. And now, whenever we want to place obstacles, just spam Control V, and we can place them wherever we want according to. Okay? And that's how we can make as many obstacles as we want. And then I'll just keep one of these on the side while I'm playing. And then if ever I accidentally copy paste something else, like copy pasting coins or something like that for convenience, then I can always just go over this again, press Control C for copy, and then Control V again to paste it some more. And this is the best way. Isn't there a place button? There might be. For the little bags? Oh, yeah. Oh, you mean like, yeah, maybe. I guess there, I mean, this works regardless. So I would just do this. And then the only other thing is that when you're doing it, make sure you want to make sure your lift height is set as low as possible, which will make it easier to drop it onto on the big bag. Yeah, sure. Snow table and click place. I guess this bag or this bag, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure. I don't want to mess with things here. I understand that I could place it. I mean, sure, there's some place thing under the yes, I understand. All right, fine. Here, put on the table, place, objects placed. So this puts all this stuff up here. You can do that. Then you have this obstacle bag from which you pull out a small obstacle bag, and then from there you pull out the other things. Yes, I understand what the thing is. We use these things in Frosthaven testing. I've used the bags. I'm afraid of pressing things. Well, I mean, I guess I have an unreasonable fear of messing with stuff because in Frosthaven the mod is much more finicky, we'll say. So I'm sort of just afraid to press anything. I understand. Yes. All right. So you're right. What you can do is what he said. You can click place under this, which will put all the overlay tiles up here, and then from here you can drag out the obstacle bag and then get this. No problem. And then if you want to delete them, you just mouse over and click delete. Let's see. Was there anything else with the question? No, I think that should pretty much satisfy it. And then you just place them with that. Yeah, just by copy pasting. Lift height as low as possible. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay, so this works. Let's do it. I mean, hopefully this works. We'll see how it goes. Okay. So red guard goes first. We're going to gain 2 experience, and we're going to activate shield spikes. Each time after an adjacent enemy attacks you, that enemy suffers damage equal to your shield value. Oh wait, we had to lose another card to keep this. Oops. In that case, I guess we're just losing this. Yeah, because we want our other shield things. Yep. All right. Sorry. There we go. We got so excited. So we gained our experience, I think. So we activate this. Now we have retaliate equal to our shield value, and then we're going to do a move to jump, shield oneself. And with that, we're just going to move to here. We don't want to open the door yet because we want to make sure we have all the shield before we open the door. There we go. How's it going so far? It's going quite well. The first room was a little bit tough. The second room was quite easy. We got pretty lucky. And now we're going to the third room. I mean, +2 difficulty is reasonable. It's really variable, a +2 difficulty this early on, but thus far it's been fine. Oh, wait, now it's the hatchet actually that opens the door. Well, I guess it's not the hatchet that opens the door then. Because I definitely don't want to do that. All right, well, the hatchet's just going. I guess then I shouldn't have played center mass. Whoops. How many cards do I have? Yeah, I mean, I can just stamina potion center mass here, and I think I will. So I'm going to do a loot 1 action. I messed that up a little bit because my initial plan with the hatchet was based off of when the red guard was going to be the one opening the door a little bit earlier, but here I'm definitely not opening the door. I want to go loot these things. All right. And so in that case, I've already failed my battle goal to not use items, so I'll just go ahead and stamina potion back center mass. This makes sense because I have an odd hand size right now, and this will give me kind of my best leading attack back. Okay. Now the Voidwarden, we're going to do loot 1, so nothing strengthen, so we're going to strengthen. I guess I can actually strengthen either of them now. It's probably still better to strengthen the hatchet, though. Hatchet's attacks are more significant. I mean, I guess, what is the red guard going to do next turn? Yeah, we're just going to do like an element generating attack, probably. So yeah, the strengthen's not going to be great for the red guard. We don't have any giant losses or anything like that. So yeah, let's go ahead and strengthen hatchet. Boom. And then we're going to do Signs of the Void. 1 ally within range 3 may perform shield 1. The same ally may perform move 2. So now the red guard has 2 shield. this round because our bottom gave shield. All right. Ooh, an elite skeleton, huh? Elite archer. Nope, not meant to draw this. That's fine though. Whatever. Sure. Misclick, it doesn't matter. There are no more guards. All right, Living Bones doing standard stuff. That's fine. He's doing multi-target without moving. That's also fine. Okay, so we have one movement left on the red guard. So let's see. What is the range on these archers? 5 and 4 respectively with no movement. Yes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if we stop here, we just get hit by the elite, who hits only for an attack 3 when we have 2 shield. The better question is, can we move back? How much movement do the bones have? I know I can just look on their standees. I should get used to that, but so my TTS experience recently on it, because I know I'm sure it's tilting people who are watching the VOD. They're like, you can click, or I mean, you can look here. So to be clear, sometimes when there's a lot of enemies, I actually find this difficult to read. But that's not the biggest reason why I don't look at this. The biggest reason I don't look at this, I mean, because like for example here with like the white standing in the background, it can be difficult. It's just because I don't have the habit of reading this. Because even if I do this once a week, for example, I'm playing Frosthaven in TTS at least twice a week, and Frosthaven TTS we don't have all these niceties, so we just don't have the experience of like clicking the arrows or looking at these things. Because I know theoretically all I have to do is like look here, click the arrow, and then I know exactly. All right, so let's try that here. We'll try our best to live in both worlds. So with 4 movement and 3 movement, this is interesting. 1, 2, yeah. So we actually can't move back. Well, I mean, all right. We could move back on the red guard. We could go back to here. This will mean that we don't get attacked by one of the bandit archers, but that this elite Living Bones also gets to attack the Hatchet, or if we go there, it gets to attack everyone. So it gets to attack the Hatchet. So basically, the elite Living Bones hits for 3, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So we would get an attack 3 here, which is unmitigated, versus an attack 3 here, which is mitigated by 2. I think the choice is pretty simple. The only argument for moving back is it also draws the bones up a little bit more, but at this range, the bones are still somewhere we're perfectly happy with. Okay, so we'll stop there. All right, so living bones go. This goes here. This goes here. It's going to be an attack 3 and then an attack 2 on the red guard. Attack 3, perfect, because I actually wanted to use this. So that takes 3 damage. I love shield spikes. And then the next attacks me. I think this is no matter what. Each time after an adjacent enemy attacks you, the enemy suffers damage equal to your shield value. Yeah, so then this one, doesn't matter that he missed. I mean, I would have rather the miss stayed for here, but so be it. He still takes 2 damage, and then the elite archer attacks us for 3. So 0. Stacking shield. Very satisfying. Okay. So what are we up to now? Just getting the favorite in something, right? We are at range 3. We're strengthened. Yeah, this is a great opportunity to just do this, right? Does the elite have 2 shield yet? No, just 1 shield. Okay, good. So we don't need to move, so we might as well just use this bottom to add +1 to our attack. And this just lets us go huge, right? +1, 4, plus the favorite, 7. So we can actually make an attack 7 with advantage, targeting this elite Living Bones, and hope to kill it. Which is... Excuse me. Actually, we've drawn almost evenly. Actually drawn slightly positive here. It's sort of not a super reasonable hope. Do we have the default, or do we have the bottom direct 1 damage, though? If we do, then we're good. We do. Then we don't create... I mean, it's got to be worth it, though. I wish I had the light direct damage on the bottom. Then I would have bad initiative. Huh. So I can only play shield for a loss right now. I have no elements, so I want to create some elements. Creating fire allows me to do this next turn, which is good, with shield. So I think this makes sense. I just have to go early here, which basically means playing this or playing this. Both these are attack 3s. I guess I'm unlike... I mean, yes, I understand that this would give me a million retaliate, but after this, I'm mostly just going to be fighting archers, so I don't really care about this bottom, whereas the other bottom could also do something. Like, the other card has 2 halves, whereas this is only 1. So we can just do this here as an attack 3 on this and 1 direct damage to both of them. Should give us a very high degree of certainty of killing the elite Living Bones here. Okay, so what's the red guard? Or what's the Voidwarden up to? So I guess what we want to do is like a poison gifted attack on that bones, or just a regular gifted attack. with Wicked Scratch. We don't have Wicked Scratch anymore. Okay, so it's got to be the poison gifted attack. Otherwise, we're not gifting any attacks here. So yeah, poison gifted attack it is. And probably good to go early. The earliest we can go here is 23 or 26. 26 is actually after a 25, so I guess 23 makes sense here. Let's do this. Okay. This gives us an overall good turn. It's a shame that we're not going before the Hatchet. We could have the Hatchet go at 24 and us at 23. The nice thing about this is then the Hatchet would also be advantaged on the attack. No, but Hatchet will be advantaged on the attack that it makes against the regular anyway because of our ability, whatever. Because of Master Influence. Okay, let's do it. Archer's at 14. Bones at 64. Okay, so Red Guard's up at 14 or 10. So we're going to begin by doing the top of Shield of the Desert, just performing a default attack 3, targeting the normal living bones here. Okay, so 4 is 3 actual damage. It's a little bit annoying that he's at that life, but whatever, I'm not going to complain. And then we're going to do the bottom of this, creating fire and doing 1 direct damage to all of them. All right, and we're done. So then the Hatchet goes. So that changes our plan slightly, doesn't it? So I think we'll save the favorite for the poisoned advantaged attack given by the Voidwarden, which we may not even need to use it. I don't know, it's close. I think we'll just make we'll attack with center mass, just target. I guess this also gives +1. Oh, this actually is going to affect the granted attack too, so that's nice. So yeah, we'll use the bottom fancy hat, +1 to all our attacks this round, and we'll attack with center mass on the regular bones here. Just try to kill it. Oops. Oh, I drew twice. It stuttered the first time, but that's fine. Drawing 2 -1 is actually perfect. So -1 on a 4 is 3. 3 with 1 shield is 2. It's dead. Okay. We're done. It's active. I'll just put it there for now. So then the bandit archers go. So again, the elite already has range. All right. Good thing we created these bags up here, huh? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So then this will have to move up to here and create this here. Or would I rather this go here? Yeah, I think I would actually rather, well, I guess then the spot that I want to move into for the 2 of them is not really convenient. So no, this is fine. Doesn't change too much, I guess. Yeah, this is fine. Okay. Oh no, then we can choose where, no, so the first trap has to go there and the second trap has to go here. Which I guess creates a more annoying trap wall than if we put this trap here. Because this one will place the trap here, and then this goes here, and then we place this trap here. I don't know though. At the same time, the annoying trap wall makes it easy to pull the 2 targets through, which I like. Okay, so then from range 4 and range 5, these attack. The attacks are at -1, so an attack 3 and then an attack 2. So 3, yeah, we have no bonuses at all this turn, so we take 3, and then 2 is 1, so we take 4. That's fine. Okay, so then the Voidwarden goes. So we're going to use the top of Gift of the Void, make the Hatchet suffer 2 damage. Hatchet's no longer strengthened, by the way. Poison the skeleton. And we gift an attack 5 with advantage. Yeah, we should still use the favorite here. There's no reason to let this make an attack this round. I think it's also attacking at bonus. Yeah. All right. So we will use the favorite. It's kind of a convenient spot to pick up the favorite from anyway. Oopsies, that's not what I want to grab. Just this. So we'll throw the favorite. I'm not going to put it on him because that's just annoying. It's going to drop where he dies. He's dying here. So we'll throw the favorite as well. So this is an attack 5, attack 8 with advantage, targeting the elite bones. I think it's impossible for this not to kill. No, he's dead. Oh, it's actually 1 even higher because we had the bonus. So was it really necessary? Yeah, it was. Because this was an attack 6 with advantage against something with 6 health and 1 shield. Technically, we would have killed, but I would be too afraid to not flip a +1 there. I think using the favorite there is a real cost, but not an insurmountable one, and making sure that bones dies is really important. All right, then we have a move 3 with the bottom suggestion. Yeah, let's just go ahead and grab some coins. I'm not sure if the end of round looting works for these things. I think it does not, so I haven't. Plus, I click in the wrong order. Wife was eating some leftover Thai, and it looks delicious. Okay. I know that we don't want to drop below half. We can just lose cards to negate damage at this point. We're pretty safe. End of the round. Alrighty. Oh, we also created dark, by the way, which is significant here because of this. So we'll do these two to go as early as possible and drag one of those, disarm one of those things and drag them through the traps they created. As for us, we need to move 3, and then we don't have wind or anything, so we can create wind for after with this. We move with this and attack with this. Our initiative sort of sucks, but I think this is also fine. We're just not in a lot of danger here. Alright, so one of them is going to be disarmed, and I can go disarm the other. I have fire. Could I use it more interesting than this? No, not really. This gives 1 experience. Yep. This is just a really... I mean, we're just kind of in cleanup phase here. There's 2 enemies left, but we have enough CC that 2 enemies like this is not threatening. It did set up for 3 players, right? I guess I should double check that now. Yes, it did. Okay. Okay. So let's go. 68, sure. So the red guard's up first. We're going to do a move 4 with this. We're going to consume the fire. We'll go get the chest at some point, but we don't need to just yet. Gain 1 experience. 1, 2, 3. If we go here, we play a bottom loot action. We don't actually have a bottom loot action next turn. Yeah, we'll attack this one because the Voidwarden actually executes this one. Wait, how much damage were these traps? They're 3 damage, right? Yeah. The Voidwarden's ability is just an execute on this one, which is just so convenient because we just can be sure it's dead that way. So sure, yeah, we'll attack the elite with an attack 2 disarm that creates dark and ice. I guess the dark last turn didn't actually matter. Okay, +0, so 2 damage. Okay, we're done. We have 1 shield. This doesn't matter. We gain the experience though. So the Voidwarden, we're going to consume the dark, gain 1 experience, disarm range 3, force the target to perform move 3. And we'll go like this and like this. Thanks for your traps, suckers. How's this going, Gripeaway? It's going well. We're winning pretty easily. 1+2. But it is Black Barrow, and we've done it a million times. The next scenario will certainly be many times harder, I think, especially because of RNG and such. Okay, so we're done. Oh no, sorry. After that, we have a move 4. Plus our boots? Yes. Okay, well. What's in this chest? No, it's just a side scenario in the chest, yeah. Because the thing is, I don't really want the Voidwarden picking up chests. I don't want the Voidwarden getting items, but we'll go here. Will it work? Oh, it does actually. Okay. Never mind. I guess I gotta start doing things in the right order here. So we're spoiling chest number 7. I mean, I kind of already spoiled it there. And what is it? Oh no, I have to do it like this. Oh no, I can't do it like that. State 2. It's a random side scenario. Oh, Red Guard Battle Goal. Red Guard Battle Goal. Yeah, good call. Yeah, never mind. There's no reason to do this then. Let's not be stupid. All right. I mean, I know what the chest is, but I already knew what the chest was. Okay. Well, there's a chest here. This is, I know I could go find a chest. Actually, probably up here, isn't it? Yes, there we go. My bad. Good catch. Thank you. No way. Could not have predicted the chest contents. Yeah. Indeed. All right, so we're here, so we'll just do a move 4 instead and end on a coin. Like so. All right, so this is not there. This is still here. Yeah, thank you for reminding me the Red Guard Battle Goal. Thank you. I figured it would be the Red Guard who made it there, but in the end it could have not been. But that's fine. Yeah, we do want check marks, and this is so free. No reason to be stupid here. Okay, speaking of no reason to be stupid, let's not use a loss attack. So we're going to do a move 3 at the bottom of Power Pitch. 1, 2, 3. Oh, by the way, he's disarmed. I didn't put the disarm on him, though, but he is. We'll get the stuff at the end of round. I have to grab this because it does have the hatchet. Or the favorite. I don't have the favorite here, so I can't use it for this attack. This coin just goes to us, though. And we'll do an attack 2, range 4 with follow through, targeting the elite. Okay, 2 damage. Now lead was disarmed, so this does nothing. Do these classes work with TTS scripting? Nice. Yeah, they definitely work with the condition scripting, and apparently I think it was Blah Blah who told me that they shouldn't work with looting scripting, but it does appear that they might. So yeah, it's been really pleasant. It's such a nice departure. Okay. I don't know what exactly we're gonna do here. We're gonna do something. We'll just play our 2 cards. This is a 6 health. This had a this was crap. I'm sure it was not moving. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think it was just doing a big attack, not moving. I don't think I was supposed to move it. I think I had looked at that. Such. So we have ice. We need to make it. We need to make it to the chest though on the red guard. So let's short rest here. Sure, that's fine. I never said that. They do work with looting. You said that they had bugs. I thought you said it was with the coins or something. Oh, you mean like the coins at the end of the scenario is the thing? Okay, gotcha. I just mixed up the 2 things. Hey, Fjorden, I'm doing very well. How are you doing? Looking forward to my weekend, and it's great. So we actually can't play a top action here if we go early with this, so I guess we just go late with this and still get to make an attack. We want to do this because this move is how we get to there. If this immobilizes, we just have to have something else. But it won't auto add loot or XP at the end of scenario. Yeah, I understand then. When you hit scenario 1 loss, gotcha. Got any weekend plans? Yeah, so it is one of our best friends here's birthday. Well, it was his birthday yesterday, but obviously with the curfew, it's impossible to celebrate during the week, so be it. So tomorrow he's coming over in the early afternoon, and we're just gonna hang out all day Saturday until curfew time, or until a little bit before curfew time, so he can go home. So, and it's gonna be basically board games all day. The only downside of this is that so he's a teacher as well, and so he actually during the summer leaves Paris for the entire summer. Actually, his parents have a house down the south, so he just goes down there and enjoys the beach all summer. So basically, before he left for the summer, we'd been towards the end of a campaign of Charterstone, which is a game, sort of. So the downside is that he actually, I mean, to a reasonable extent, enjoys the game, whereas my wife and I really do not. I wouldn't even say he enjoys it, but I mean, he's also kind of a troll, so he kind of enjoys things that other people don't enjoy just to enjoy them. I don't know, it's difficult to describe. But anyway, so we've already seen him twice actually since he came back, although we haven't played board games yet. Tomorrow we'll definitely be playing board games, but unfortunately we'll probably be playing some Charterstone, which is a bit rough. But otherwise, gonna get to play board games all day, which is still fun. Is there a way to make the auto XP in gold not include the solo difficulty bump? So yes, normally in TTS there is. So what you do, how to do the solo bump is you set the difficulty to as if playing solo, right? So here, for example, I'm doing +2, but one of these is the solo bump. So I have it set as very hard, so it's level 3 because I'm level 1. And then what I do is I go into Notebook here, and in Notebook, there's win-lose options, solo/open information. And so this should be default no, and you just change this to yes. And so what this means is then it will reward you at the end of the scenario. The auto stuff will be for 1 lower. But I guess the auto stuff won't work with the JOTL character, so I'll have to do it manually. I like him already, my kind of person. Yeah, no, he's great. We love him as well, but Charterstone. There's a setting menu, sort of. It just changes a few things, but yeah. Okay, so yeah, we have to do these 2 things. This isn't going to be a very good turn. We just have to make sure that someone tanks the immobilize for the red guard before these go at 29, which I guess shouldn't be too hard. All right, so let's short rest here as well. Sure, I don't care about that. Okay, so we don't have dark, we have ice. We can just stun him for 2 experience. I mean, I do actually want to gain experience. I don't typically milk too much, but I mean, I could milk a bunch. I'm not going to go ham with it. Hmm. I mean, this is just lost stun immediately. No easy way to get experience on bottom. But I guess getting coins is also good. Sure. Let's just do something like this then. We go before the 29. That's the most important thing. Okay, so Hatchet's actually up first at 18. I'm going to just gain 3 experience here. I do want to get some levels. I was already higher level in this party previously. Maybe we forgot to create win last turn too, but that's okay. So I'm going to heal myself for 1,000,000. And I'm going to do a move 3 jump, immobilize target all enemies adjacent to any hex you enter during this movement. 1, 2, 3 to here. Oh, look at that stack. And this is lost, and this is lost. Do we gain our experience? No, we did not. Okay. Voidwarden's up next. We're going to consume ice, gain 2 experience. Where's that ice? Got the side. If I could change one thing. So we're to force one enemy within range 4 to perform move 3 with you controlling the action, attack 3 targeting an enemy of your choice adjacent to them. So where do I want to put this? Probably on a coin is good. Up here. Redguard can still hit. Hatchet can also still hit. Stack those coins. Since this way I don't have to loot every single coin. Okay, and then I consume ice, so it's stunned. Aha. I mean, it's possible we kill it this turn. We're still going to attack it. And then here we have a move 2, one ally within range 3 before a move 2. So we're just going to move to here. And I guess we can just move Hatchet there. Okay. So lost, discarded. And then Redguard goes 63. We're going to do an attack 3 with Flaming Sickle, creating fire. Attacking you. So again, this can crit and kill. I'm not milking that hard. No, instead we'll get a -1. Ugh. Alright, and then we're going to do the bottom here, gain 1 experience, and do a move 6 jump. Alright, so we make it here, which we get the chest, which we already know what it is. It's a random side scenario, so we'll unlock a random side scenario. We'll do this at the end of the campaign, or end of the scenario. Well, hopefully not forgetting. So did we gain our 1 experience here? Yes, we did. So this is lost. This is discarded. And the Bandit Archer is stunned. That's the end of the round. Okay. Time to go clean up the stuff on top. Put an end to this. What? A random side scenario? Who could have seen this coming? We can't... Oh, this actually always gives us experience. Sure, and this gives us experience on bottom. Yes. Here we short rest. I mean, that would give me experience, but again, I'm not going that ham. I'm not going to milk this character for this thing forever. I'm going to try to kill it here. Lost attack that gives experience. Can't gain experience on bottom, but can do a moving loot action, which seems pretty good here. Seems like something we would want to do, is basically the best way I can put that. Okay, and so then as for us... so this always gives us an experience on top, and we cannot gain experience on bottom unless we have dark, which we can't have because we lost the thing. Dark wasn't created last turn. No. Alright, so whatever. We'll just do this plus, I guess, a large move. And this should end the scenario. Alright. We're up. Move 4. We're going to gain 2 experience total here. 1 for consuming the fire, and 1 just for making this other top attack. Alright, there we go. So we move 4, we gain 1 shield. 1, 2, 3, 4 to here. And we're just going to make an attack to targeting him. Targeting the archer. Oof, okay. Okay. Fair. That's annoying. I'm going to go there, I guess. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, so then the Voidwarden is going to go, and we're going to do a move 4 on bottom, and going 1, 2, 3, 4 to there, and we're going to give the Redguard an attack. We gain 1 experience, we create dark, and the Redguard gets to make an attack 3 with advantage, targeting the Bandit Archer. Okay, doing 4 damage. It's not dead, but that's fine. It's actually probably for the best. I guess we didn't have to do that attack. Technically, we probably shouldn't have done that attack. I don't know. The reason for is that we'll miss out on 2 experience on the Hatchet if we killed, and we get the experience just for performing this action. They don't have to perform the attack. At least to the best of my knowledge, they shouldn't have to. Okay, so now the Bandit Archer goes. Yeah, standard stuff. It's going to move away to lose disadvantage and attack the Redguard. +0, so I think that's like 4 damage. I don't really care. That's fine. My only regret is failing my battle goal with Hatchet here, but it did feel necessary. The first room was definitely the hardest. Okay, Hatchet goes. We gain 2 experience at the top of Power Pitch. We'll go ahead and throw the favorite because why not? So that makes this into an attack 9, targeting the Bandit Archer. No advantage though, so you never know. Yes. Oh, yes, perfect. That's the dream, right? Wish I could bring my GOTL items into base Gloomhaven. Oh, you mean like if you go over and play? I did bring the GOTL items into base Gloomhaven. I mean, some of them thus far. I explained this in the beginning. I'll go over this in a sec. Anyway, so that was an attack 9, crit 18, so only 17 overkill. But then the most glorious part here is, of course, Retrieval. Move 1, loot 1. Honestly, Hatchet loots better than a counter roll. Boom. Oh, yeah. The +3 attack from the favorite come after the drawn card, right? Nope. Modifiers are always the last thing applied to an attack, and the multiplicative modifier, well, technically you could just choose the order in which your modifiers are applied to attack. So you always apply modifiers last, and typically you should always want to apply the multiplicative modifier last, although you don't have to. Sometimes you might not want to kill something. If you have like a rolling +1 and the multiplicative, you could do the multiplicative first and the rolling +1 afterwards. No, the favorite applies +3 to the attack. It doesn't add 3 damage. So the favorite does get multiplied by the crit modifier or the miss modifier, whichever the case may be. All right, that's the end of the round. That's a successful scenario. Time to Scrooge McDuck all those coins. Oh yeah, look at that. 13 stack, 3 stack, 3 stack. Oh my. It's unfortunate because, I mean, yeah, we've got some stuff to buy on the red card or on the Hatchet. We'll be fine. So to allude to someone else, I did bring over Jaws of the Lion items into this. I mean, thus far I've just brought the ones to replace the tier 1. So we brought the crappier boots. Well, the crappier boots is riding. We bought the better wing shoes. The tier 1, I mean, the current studded leather from Jaws, which is a starting item, so we replaced the starting leather. We brought the more expensive iron helmet, which we've already bought one of, and we brought the nerf stamina potions. Doesn't the Jaws of the Lion rulebook say not to bring items over? It does. That being said, I mean, this is more just because they didn't want any compatibility issues. So here's the thing, right? So we've basically just rules are for suckers. Yeah, I mean, 20 gold iron helmet. I mean, 20 gold iron helmet, and we already bought it, and I have no regrets, just to be clear. So all these items that were changed for Jaws of the Lion were changed because it wasn't like they weren't specifically changed for some reason inherent to Jaws of the Lion, intrinsic to Jaws of the Lion, right? Boots of striding were way too good. Wing shoes weren't good enough. Leather armor sucked. Base leather armor sucked. Iron helmet was way too good. Stamina potions were way too good. So basically, all we're doing is just applying necessary buffs and nerfs to tier 1 items which were changed. Well, to be clear, Dumpster Fire, that's just the Jaws of the Lion version of an item which exists in Gloomhaven. So you can still find that in Gloomhaven. It's actually a nerfed version of it, although for cheaper as well. So, anywho, so we've done these changes just to bring a little bit more item parity to the Prosperity 1 items in a way that Jaws of the Lion has sort of just fixed some items. It's not we're using Jaws of the Lion specific items, it's just that we're using the Jaws of the Lion rules to fix some items, which are things we naturally were house ruling to fix to some degree anyway. Even nerfed its top tier greed. Just look harder for it. Yep. All right. So that's a successfully completed scenario. Our reward is nothing. Party achievement first steps. I'm not going to bother tracking party achievements, at least not these. Some eventually matter. So we unlock scenario 2. We successfully completed scenario 1. So check you off. And unlock you. All right. And then I'm just level 5 on my first campaign in Gloomhaven. Something to look forward to. Yep, absolutely. Okay, so we got a check mark here. Never allow your hit points to drop below half. We got a check mark here, thanks to being reminded not to loot the treasure tile. And we did not get any check marks on Hatchet. I know normally we can do the scenario 1 or loss, but as Blogwell pointed out, the Jaws things don't quite work for it, so we'll just do this all manually. This is fine. We're used to doing this stuff manually anyway. Excuse me if you forgot your city rule militaristic banner. Indeed. All right. Very important. I know. How else would I know? Okay, we don't have any. Oh no, we do actually have a curse in our deck, which we never drew, but we also didn't use our modifier deck much, as sort of expected. Obviously, once we get to level 4, we'll use our modifier deck a little bit more. So this player curse is there. I guess they never drew their curse either. Just one, yeah. Okay, so end of the scenario experience. Move this over here, I guess, and look at this. So here it was level 3, but really level 2 because of the solo bump. So it's 8 experience, and the coins are worth 3 gold each. So 8 experience plus 10. So we're looking at 18 experience, and 17 experience, respectively. Okay, cool. It's a good start. It's a reasonable start. The right-clicking doesn't work on these for 10, by the way, sadly. Oh, okay. Which is only going to matter when we count up Hatchet's coins. So we're looking at 9 gold and 9 gold respectively for these two. And 39 gold. Dear God. All right. Oh, we're 1 gold short of buying the wing shoes? Rough. Hopefully someone has a rat problem that we can solve. 39 is 44 gold here. Yeah, it doesn't work with those classes. Exactly. Doesn't scenario win-loss remove those? Why are you doing this instead of the win-loss buttons? Because these classes just type. Oh, you're right. I can type the number. That's a good point. Good call. Because these imported JOTL classes don't actually work with the scripting for one lost. Text field, yeah. No kidding. I'm not actually used to that being a text field. Oops. What the? Why is this at 6? It should not. Oh, it should not be at 6. There we go. That should be at 6. Okay, those are all good. Everything is good. So, successful completion of the first scenario. I think you gave Redguard 5 extra gold? No, I think not. Redguard had 3 coins. Oh, he spent. Yeah, why did he? Yeah, right. Yeah, good call. I don't know. Yeah, he did have 5 gold at the beginning. Too much. Good catch. Yeah, I didn't do it there, but for some reason I gave him 5 gold initially. I must have, I don't know, misclicked or something. Good catch. Thank you. I'll just give you a bunch of error messages instead of actually doing the math for you. Yeah, I don't like the error messages. I get enough of those regularly. Okay, so with 10 gold here, so we will obviously go back to Gloomhaven to get another city event. Obviously, this gets us another road event, but that's fine. So hold on. So we get to clear this stuff up. Let's just click another end round. So what we want to do is we want to do game setup, delete map. Doesn't. Oh, this will delete those. That's fine. They're infinite, so it's fine. Yeah, we don't have anything up there that we can't lose. All right, deleted. Monsters. Deleted. Okay. Oops. So that's that. So, oops, we need to delete all these coins as much as we'd like to keep those. I initially tried playing with TTS and found it cumbersome, but you actually make it look fun. Yeah, I've got a lot of experience doing it. It took me a little bit to get used to it, but once you get used to it, I think it's quite fluent. Side scenario. Oh, yep, good catch, side scenario. Thank you very much. All right, so we get to draw a random side scenario. Boom. We've unlocked 65, the sulfur mine. Thought I knew where this was. No, L5. I kind of had the right idea, not completely. All right, goodbye, sulfur mine. We're still going to go do scenario 2 next, but first we're going to go back to town and do a city event, trying to get the Redguard 1 more gold to get those jump boots. Okay, so city event first. All right, so first we stop the recording.